Field for practice yesterday, and general manager Brandon Beane also meeting with the media. He says that Tre'Davious White could be back for week 1. They'll see if they get him for practice next Wednesday, which will be the first injury report of Ravens week. A big piece of Jordan Poyer's return, according to Beane, is for his mentorship. You can get his full comments on Poyer, the 53-man roster, on our website, WGR550.com, the Odyssey app as well. At practice, Christian Benford was absent. He left practice early on Friday, said he's fine, but he was not on the field yesterday, was on the exercise bike. Khalil Shakir was on the field, first time since August 1st at the stadium. The return of the blue and red is when he got hurt. Shakir was at practice yesterday. Sal's got all the details on our website. College football tonight. UB opens at Minnesota tonight at 8 p.m. That'll be on TV on FS1, and if you want to listen to the game, it'll be on our sister station, the Bet 1520. Bulls are 17-point underdogs going into tonight's game. Other college games tonight. Number 25, Boise State against South Florida at 5:30. Nebraska at Cincinnati at 9 o'clock. Those games are both on ESPN. The Ryder Cup team is in for the U.S. Captain Keegan Bradley did not pick himself. He opted for Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Patrick Cantlay, Sam Burns, and Cam Young as his captain's picks to go along with the automatic qualifiers like Scotty Scheffler and others. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Jeremy and Joe. I was just in my web browser kind of reorganizing tabs that I need to organize.
How many have open?
Fantasy football season is what I mean. Like I'm saving the folder where when it comes time to, all right, I got some time to dip into fantasy football.
Yeah.
Click down to, our League of Shopes and Dreams Dynasty, my Family Dynasty, my Street Dynasty. All right, that's 3. Mm-hmm. And then, the guillotine's really where you start to explode. Because the guillotine, someone offers you a spot in a guillotine, it's like, I could do another one of those. And Joe, what I'm discovering...
because you might only be doing it for a couple weeks for all you know.
True.
Yeah.
What I've discovered is that I'm up to 9 leagues.
Wow, that's my number. You've reached 9. How does it feel?
I'm up to 9.
I was at 18 at one point. I had to cut back. So I was
the other way.
See
if did I have one in here twice and I don't realize it?
9 leagues.
Dynasty. Guillotine.
Okay.
Guillotine.
Okay.
That's 4 guillotines.
So we only have 2 regular redraft leagues. One redraft.
And the vampire.
So you have 1 standard redraft league.
Yeah.
Out of 9.
Did I ever tell you about the idea I saw somebody had for the Thanos League?
No, I don't think so. The Thanos League sounds like it could be awesome, though, knowing no idea what it is.
The Thanos League. Did you send it to me, Josh?
No, but I've seen it. It looks like an amazing idea for
I'm going to guess it's if you are, you got to get the stones. So you win your first 5 games, you're 5-0, you get to kick somebody out.
And that's not bad for Thanos. It's some version
or you kick out half the league, I guess. It would be
closer to that. I think it's that there's a randomizer and half the players, post-draft, half the players are eliminated.
Half the players?
Yes.
Wait, half the people in the league?
No.
Like the players.
NFL players
players
are gone.
It's just like a random selection of every player, rostered or not.
So you draft Jamar Chase and, snap, he's gone. Mm-hmm. All right. Plan accordingly.
I mean, that is truly cruel, that type of league. And I also don't know how you would achieve getting it, but
I don't know.
You could.
I didn't exactly read a full write-up of it, but someone just kind of wrote a very quick tweet about it. It was either that or it was each week, half of your lineup, same thing, snap, is gone. Mm-hmm. Not like the players out of the league for the entire season. That seems less fun. But this week, ready, let's randomize it. Okay, you've lost these 5 players. Their scores do not count. Snap. So, I don't know. I'm not in a Thanos league yet. But I am in 9 leagues, and I also have asked my wife to have her league that she's in transfer the ownership of her team over to my email.
Okay.
So I don't have to log in and change her lineup for her when she texts me and says, is my lineup set? I'll just go ahead and take care of that.
Yeah, just let me.
Households, it's what we do. We split responsibilities, and I am the runner of the 10 fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
9. How many commissionerships do I have?
We're not.
1, 2.
We're not in the offer sheet league anymore.
3,
there was
4.
an offer sheet league once upon a time.
The offer sheet league had a lot of potential. It had potential.
Really tough to execute.
Yes.
Though. Everybody in an Empire league?
No, and
those are really not anything crazy. There's nothing really different about the season other than if you win 2 years in a row, you get the Empire pot. So that could be like a 20-year process,
right?
Before it sees
half the money that is in the pot stays. For someone to win
for an Empire pot that grows and grows and grows until somebody wins back to back.
Yep.
Which then in turn, if you've won, the previous champion will be rooted against like no other you've ever seen. Right. I am in a hockey league that does that.
I'd worry about collusion there and the potential for alliances. I'd be worried about that.
Well, is it collusion? So I am in a fantasy hockey league that has this rule, and there was the year I won, the next year. Is it collusion, or would this be expected that, the teams that are bad, we're about to go, we're still on our way to the playoffs. I know, none of these guys are trading with me. They're going to trade their guy. Well, if they have the option and it's close, what are they going to do? They're going to send their good player to one of the other teams.
Yeah, that's collusion.
That's collusion? That'd be like not trading with the Chiefs in the NFL.
Yeah. If every team decided we can't do it. Yeah,
well, someone could. Someone could. They just, they're more likely, hey, you're on your way to the second championship in a row. He's offering the same thing. So unless you beat it, I'm taking his offer.
Right, but you would have a vested interest to not trade with that person because they're going to
help them.
Because they're going to win a pot that you could still win in the future.
That's right. It's over if you and the league starts over if you if you win it.
This scenario comes up where is this collusion? This scenario comes up in Settlers of Catan, which is a big, the Bills play this game a lot.
Yeah.
Allen and Spencer Brown. Have you played Catan?
I've never played it.
You don't know Catan?
No.
Catan's the same kind of situation where someone looks like they're in position to win. You really cannot play Catan without trading supplies back and forth. It's very difficult to do. So, whatever. You have it where it's don't trade with him, don't trade with her.
Yeah.
They're about to win, and sometimes that comes up. Anyway. 8030550. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Big show today. Lots going on.
It's a big day.
It's a big day.
And it's a big day after 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Hilariously, as expected, the NFL will reveal all the rivalries jerseys at 10 o'clock today. 10 o'clock!
Yep.
I didn't know we were a target of the league and Nike, so thank you for that. 10 o'clock. So we're going to stay on with Sal for 5 minutes. I told my wife, I've stayed late tomorrow at work. Why? I have to say on the radio
Bills.
whether or not I think a jersey is cool.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
And they did a good job of no leaks. I have no idea.
There's a leak of Miami.
Oh,
which
really?
I don't know if it's real or not, and I can't decide what to do with it.
All right, let's see here. I'm
the
excited.
Dolphins.
Miami Vice?
It's just a black jersey with some bright numbers. It doesn't make sense to me. It's got the area code on the helmet on the front of it. Nothing about that says any version of this represents the area, blah, 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 blah. I don't think those are them. I hope not.
See, the thing is, though, that the background, like the photo shoot,
says
looks
rivalries and all that.
Very
but
real.
couldn't someone just make that? Someone could
put
just
the rivalry series in the background.
Yeah.
They could, I guess. Yeah.
It's just the Dolphins jerseys that are on the internet. You just go to Twitter and search like Dolphins rivalries uniforms. You'll see them. It's the closest thing we've got to a leak, and it's Miami, so I don't want to get too bent out of shape. But if that is really them, then I'm already disappointed the entire series because it's just a black jersey with the Dolphins colors. It's not any sort of next level. It's not any sort of creative idea. It's we went with black.
I will say that I guess that does kind of line up with what their teaser video
How?
looked
They
like.
went with like water in the ocean, and what is it, a fish tank?
Well, the logo,
numbers-
like, you know how there was that gray logo at the end of the Bills video? The silver logo with the blue outline that, like, made it, like, we saw the logo, right?
Yeah.
The Dolphins logo that was at the end of that video looks like what that jersey is that we just saw.
That's right. It's like a black, it's like a negative-based kind of...
Negative-based,
Here's the other
I
thing.
mean, I don't know what the theme is, if there even is one, of, like...
Oh, you know, the theme
what
is...
it's supposed to be,
The theme
but-
is Miami Nights is what it is.
Miami Nights?
Miami Nights.
What is
and
that?
The idea
Just
that
nighttime
the
in Miami?
The night scene in Miami is a big deal.
Okay,
you know.
right.
I look to see when they're going to wear them, and they wear them Monday, September 29th in a home game against the Jets.
Right.
This might be a stupid thing to think about, but Miami is not wearing black uniforms at home at 1 o'clock, right? I mean, I know they're in the shade, but maybe
Yeah.
that's a part of this, is Miami's never been able to wear a black jersey just because they're in the sun all the time.
Right, they've got to wear a lighter color.
Hey, we're going to wear a black jersey. Like, okay, all right, I guess so. I think it's already...
It's definitely that is disappointing.
It's a
Hey,
disappointment.
if one team's going to have the disappointing one, the Dolphins having it would be kind of funny, though.
I'm into that too. Right,
Yeah.
we've got the Bills are probably going to be white. Are they going to be white or snow or
White.
glacier, white, blue, whatever? Like they're going to be a snow, ice kind of theme. That's the idea we get from the teasers. The Jets is about a swamp. Maybe theirs are blackish and dark green. Yeah, the Jets are about a swamp.
I didn't know that theirs was about a swamp.
A little bit about a swamp from what I watched the teaser.
What's the? I'd seen the Arizona teaser, the New England teaser, the Bills teaser. What's the swamp connection? Because they're in Jersey,
New York is a swamp. Yeah.
or New York is a swamp.
Yeah. So, whatever. The Patriots is about nor'easters, wind and rain, and
Arizona's sandstorm,
Yeah.
kind of.
the Seattle Seahawks
I'm
are about
expecting
sound.
Arizona's to be the coolest. That is the team I would bet on being the coolest of the 8.
Well, we'll see. It all happens at 10 o'clock this morning. Sal's going to be here for the Extra Point Show. He has invited us in to give a quick review, so we'll do that. That's coming up at 10. Along the way today, at 7:30, Brian Koziel joins us from Tee to Green on the Ryder Cup. Team selections are out for the Ryder Cup, which is about a month away. Then we'll do Sal at 8, and then Cody Alexander is going to join us at 8:30. So if you are a loyal listener to this show, and by that I mean you listen to every minute, and you listened on Tuesday this week when I furiously stumbled to find the guy that wrote the thing about Cole Bishop that I want to tell you about.
Yeah.
That's him. So he can tell us what he was going to talk about with Cole Bishop. Or what he did talk about, what I wanted to bring up about how the Bills call their defense, whether or not they were protecting their safeties last year. And, of course, safety is, again, today a conversation point because the Bills brought back Jordan Poyer. We learned about that in the 9 o'clock hour yesterday. Mm-hmm. And
How's it sitting with you?
I mean, it's sitting better than it was when we thought he's on the 53, which 90% of the freakout was when he's on the 53. This is a terrible idea. Everything has gone wrong. And where it sits now is a slightly more panicked version of Jordan Phillips. For Jordan Phillips, the Bills have many, many answers at defensive tackle, rookies that have showed out pretty well. Mm-hmm. For Poyer, all I want to say is this. Like, you pretty much are unable to push back on any idea that a veteran will help young guys. Once that is said, you kind of have to say, like, well, there it is. I guess that's it. Right?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to argue against it. It's kind of like if you're in an argument about trading somebody and the person you're with says, hey, Gretzky got traded. And you're like, that's correct. Yes, Gretzky got traded. Hey, what about the leadership? Yeah, okay. Yep. Leadership, culture, all that. And Brandon Beane yesterday said they'd been talking with Poyer all the way going back to May. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I guess my question would just be how necessary the leadership really was. Because who's it for? It's for Bishop?
That's the thing. It's
for Bishop.
It's for everybody in the room.
Yeah.
And Beane said yesterday, if you had 5-year veterans who are all pros back there, and they're great, that you'd still want a leader for the position, to which I want to say, like,
yeah,
okay. I think without...
It just wasn't like a room with 4 rookie or second-year safeties. You have 2 guys like that, and then you had 3 guys, Taylor Rapp, who's a veteran in the league, who's been in the system now into a 3rd year, DeMar Hamlin, who's into a 5th year, Cam Lewis and Hamlin might be into 6th years, actually. No, they'd be 5th years. You just had a room already that had guys like that.
Yeah.
Poyer is longer. Poyer wasn't playing at a higher level, but it was not a room that was filled top to bottom with 1st and 2nd year players. You had 2 guys out of 7.
It'll be Cam Lewis's 6th year.
6th year for Cam Lewis.
6 years on the team.
Right. So, and he was mentioned when he'll help blank in the room and blank in the room. And then he got to mentioning Cam Lewis and Taylor Rapp. And Cam Lewis and Taylor Rapp have been in the league almost as long as Josh Allen's been in the league.
But that's the thing. You can't argue against leadership and culture. There's no really pushback. I'm not even that I would really dispute it. It's just okay. One of the ways I might want to say this is Poyer's going to be treated as a break glass in case of emergency guy, right?
That's how I see it. Yes.
Okay, break glass in case of emergency. So I want you to picture you break glass in case of emergency, and then right under it says, emergency seems somewhat likely. Don't we feel that? Doesn't this feel like a move where everybody out there, if you're listening, if you're a Bills fan, you think like they're doing this because they got to get Bishop right. On the one hand, Joe, I would do whatever it takes if I'm the Bills to get Bishop right. I don't know that I buy if Jordan Poyer is going to be the thing that gets him right. He's either going to get it or he's not going to get it. Maybe the veteran leadership of Poyer will help, and Bishop, because he missed time, that's the biggest problem. We've heard that the whole time, right? We haven't heard that there's no one in the room to lead him. There's no one in the room to help him understand. What we've heard from McDermott is it's time on task, that Bishop needs to play, and he and Rapp need to play together. And here's Poyer yesterday, along with Jordan Phillips. They both said they think they have gas left in the tank. And I think Poyer comes here because he thinks he's going to play. And I bet he's going to play. I bet he's going to play. I don't know when he's going to start. I don't think he's going to start against Baltimore. But
well, how many guys do they go through before they would get to him? Is it just Cole Bishop?
It's I would think,
because there are other
safeties, but
players in between.
The guy he would have to beat out is Hamlin, who's not exactly an athletic safety.
No,
by like NFL safety standards. So
no, but is he as athletic as Poyer is right now?
It's a great question.
Is the Jordan Hancock hype real at all? Like, is he?
He's hurt.
He was before the injury. There was some momentum towards all right, let's throw his hat in the ring.
Yeah,
and then he got hurt. Right. So does he pick up where he left off on that? I mean, so many ideas I feel like are possible at that position. I wouldn't rule out at all though that Poyer is an idea. Maybe Hancock is that's not real. The idea that he could actually start. They're not really that close to making that determination. And if they had a big, important game and Bishop wasn't getting the job done and there was an injury at the position somewhere else, okay, yeah, let's put Jordan in there. Because they know him and they trust that he knows the system and all of that. So I could see it. I also don't want to go nuts over anything that is on the practice squad.
True.
Right?
I want to agree with that.
I think the fringe who makes the 53-man roster is already, it's not really that, whether Tyrell Shavers was on the team or not, isn't that impactful to what happens this season.
Right.
And now I'm going beyond the 53 players. I'm going to, the 60th player.
Well, to that point, what did Sal say with us yesterday? It's possible to bring him on the practice squad as an onboarding process.
To eventually be
on the active roster. Because, say it this way, what if he had come to camp and made the roster? What would we think?
Their safety room is
worse than we thought.
Yeah,
worse than we thought. And I don't know, maybe Poyer can find a fountain of youth. I put up a Twitter poll about this. How do you feel about, what's your take on the Jordan Poyer addition to the practice squad and what it means for the safety room? And I put 3 options in there. good to have, somewhat concerning, or both. Because I think it can be both. Right? This is one of those things where two things can be true. You want to sell me on Poyer and his leadership and his culture? All right. They just did that with Micah Hyde, and that was, November when that happened? November, December?
Yeah, it was November. Yeah.
So that's late in the season. The Bills are already good. They're bringing him in for a veteran, and I think we all said, good idea. Sounds great. Who cares? You're going to go back there and see if you can get any help. I don't know if they did. It's the kind of thing that it's hard to get tangible proof that it helped or tangible proof that it didn't. It's just this, ethereal kind of, it's culture. All right, well, the Bills are pretty good at that. So they, I would want to say, know what they're doing in that department. And Poyer will come in and give them a boost there. But I don't know, maybe it's just my knee-jerk, the way a lot of people knee-jerked about Jordan Phillips, and we talked about that earlier in the week, where it's my knee-jerk where I am worried about the safety room. I'm really worried about it. And am I worried it's going to stop them from winning the division? No. I'm worried that when we get to a game in January against an elite offense like Baltimore, like if they're playing the Bills, which they don't have to play the Bills, which is good news. If they're against Cincinnati, I'm worried. I'm worried about a fatal flaw in what they built. They spent so much. Think about what they did to their defense. They spent a lot on the defensive line. They spent their biggest asset at corner and drafted other corners. And what did they do at safety? Not anything. Very, very little.
They trusted in Bishop.
They brought back Hamlin, and they added Derek Forrest. Their safety room coming into this season would have been the most bargain basement safety room you could get outside of a second-round pick, not exactly being bargain basement. He's, in investment. But when we were going back to talking about Taylor Rapp, Rapp is on a 3-year, $10 million deal. That's very low safety money. They like him. That's great. But it's just been a position that over time has been really important to McDermott. And here he is kind of again trying to piecemeal it together. And it all happened on the same day. And this might be, 2 points I'm connecting that aren't exactly connected. It all happens on the same day. The Ravens give Kyle Hamilton $25 million a year.
Yeah.
So one of my main competitors is potentially elite at the position that I think for this defense is important. And this team, you got to pick one or the other. I get that. I hear Brandon Beane, you can't do everything. I know. I'm just worried about it. I'm worried about the position. I have been all year. When Joe Marino did his Locked On podcast of the 10 most important Bills, I listed Cole Bishop 6th because I think it's important what happens at that position. Yeah. And Poyer coming in, I'm not telling you that it's bad. He's on the practice squad, not on the 53. I think he will be on the 53 at some point. I think he will be elevated to play. I think he will play games. And I think that position is scary.
Well, really what that is then, that is just a strict bet against Bishop in the first place, right? The idea that he will start week 1, and what do we think will happen? At some point during the year, it'll be so obvious that it's going poor that we think Sean McDermott's going to open a week, a practice week, and announce Bishop's not the starter anymore.
It's
is that how they would do it?
There's also Bishop gets hurt. He gets hurt a lot.
He doesn't get hurt a lot.
He gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So
he might do it for him.
Right.
Yeah.
This is also partially like Derek Forrest. I know this sounds kind of maybe stupid, which it would be my first ever stupid take. When they signed Derek Forrest, the guy that had started in the league, it's kind of maybe counterintuitive to say if Derek Forrest were the guy in the practice squad, I might feel better because, hey, we signed him. We like what we see right now. He's going to be behind a couple of guys, but he's here. He started games in the league. He's a young athletic safety that maybe can be groomed the right way. Instead, to go back to a 34-year-old who knows the system, who, is a legend. I almost want to, it's not about Poyer individually, but it kind of is about the fact that I want to just be careful about always going back to vibes. And if you'll allow me to straw man this, who else would give them leadership? Kyle Williams. I don't think he can play. That's a straw man. I understand that. But it's just at some point I'm going to run out of just the vibes and all the vibes of everyone coming back. And then again, if he plays well when he gets in, then it's a great story. Or if Bishop kind of finds his way, then it never becomes an issue. But it does have me worried about their safeties, which is not new. So it kind of just highlights the thing I was already worried about a little bit.
And that's me. How different we actually had a caller about this yesterday, didn't we, though? The difference between Tre'Davious White and Jordan Poyer for this? Like, when it comes to vibes and...
The difference is that one of them had a good camp by most accounts, and the other one was touring the world.
I was going to say, because we didn't get to see Poyer at camp. Like, what if Poyer had come in and had a good camp? That actually could have been interesting, too. Like, what would it have sounded like if he didn't... Let's say he didn't do that. He didn't go travel to Brazil, wherever he went, and he said, yeah, I'm going to come to camp. But Beane said they'd been talking since May. So he comes to camp, and he looks good. Like, he looks pretty good. What's the story? Is Jordan Poyer going to start week 1? Right? Isn't it the exact same as Tre'Davious White?
Yeah.
That he's pushing Cole Bishop right out of the gates? And the name power, I think, is going to always carry a lot of weight for that. Because, I mean, like, again, Damar Hamlin had a good camp, I think, by most accounts. Like, he was a little bit noticeable, and he looked like a leader out there, but we just saw what that looked like, and he's Damar Hamlin. Like, we know how good he's been at his best, and it's somebody that you'd like to do better than out there on the field. So it's... Okay, well, all right, he had a good camp. Cool. I want Bishop to be the one that has a good camp. Poyer has a good camp, and I think maybe some of the same mentality that exists with Tre'Davious White would be there, which is, maybe he refound it. Maybe he touched back in with what he was. I mean, how long has it been since Poyer was great? It's been 3 years, right?
It's been 3 years. The difference is, of course, Trey White was kind of cut down by injuries, and Jordan Poyer was what? Kind of just slowed down by age?
That seems to be more of the case. In fact, that last great year he had, I think he was injured all year.
Poyer.
The elbow, right? I mean, it's not the same as...
He had the elbow.
Trey White who's got knee problems and Achilles.
He also drove 15 hours to play in the game in Kansas City with a punctured lung.
Right.
That's
the 22 season. He made a Pro Bowl that year, and he did miss 4 games that season.
He was first-team All-Pro. I mean, he's a legend. He's going on the new wall whenever they put it up.
That was the only season he missed a game in for the Bills. Well, there were 17 games. He played 16 games every year for the Bills except for that one, where he played 12. So I think the name is going to carry a lot of weight, and I don't know what he would have looked like at training camp. Maybe he would have looked good, especially in comparison to maybe some of their other safeties, too.
803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. Jeremy and Joe, lots to get to today. Ryder Cup, Bills stuff. We got to tell you about the stadium. We went on a tour of the stadium yesterday, so we'll give you the latest on what it's like inside the new Highmark Stadium, from the press box to the field level to, the locker rooms, all of it. We walked through the stadium yesterday, so thanks to the Bills for taking us on that tour. It was great. We both stood in our seats.
We did.
Where our seats are going to be.
Not far away.
That's right. We could throw a beer to each other if we needed to.
A toss, even, you might say. Not even a throw.
It'd have to be closed. You would want to throw an open beer. That'd be bad.
That would be terrible.
You could put. You know what? I think we're close enough where you could put like one of those plastic cups with a top on it for the beer. I think we could throw that and make that happen. We could participate in a water balloon toss. We're close enough for that.
Water balloon toss.
A water balloon toss. We could maybe even throw an egg.
I agree with that.
Could you throw an egg? I think you can throw an egg back and forth and not break it.
Across 20 seats?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Gotta have good hands for that.
That's a 10-yard egg throw?
Yeah.
15-yard egg throw?
Yeah, trust your hands. You're fine. Guinness Book of World Records.
The longest egg throw.
Longest egg throw.
Longest egg throw in a stadium.
The longest egg throw. It's got to be there. Okay, the farthest distance to throw and catch an egg. Got that for you next. Because a guillotine, someone offers you a spot in a guillotine. It's like, I could do another one of those. And Joe, what I'm discovering,
because you might only be doing it for a couple weeks, for all you know.
True. Yeah. What I've discovered is that I'm up to 9 leagues.
Wow, that's my number. You've reached 9. How does it feel?
I'm up to 9.
I was at 18 at one point. I had to cut back.
So I was to see if did I have one in here twice and I don't realize it?
9 leagues.
Dynasty. Guillotine.
Okay.
Guillotine.
Okay.
That's 4 guillotines.
We only have 2 regular redraft leagues. One redraft.
And the vampire.
So you have 1 standard redraft league.
Yeah.
Out of 9.
Did I ever tell you about the idea I saw somebody had for the Thanos League?
No, I don't think so. The Thanos League sounds like it could be awesome, though, knowing no idea what it is.
The Thanos League. Did you send it to me, Josh?
No, but I've seen it. It looks like an amazing idea for.
I'm gonna guess it's if you are you got to get the stones. So you win your first 5 games, you're 5-0. You get to kick somebody out.
And that's not bad for Thanos. It's some version
or you
of
kick out half the league. I guess it would be
closer to
Thanos.
that. I think it's that there's a randomizer and half the players post-draft, half the players are eliminated.
Half the players?
Yes.
Wait, so half the people in the league.
No.
Like the players,
NFL players.
NFL players
are gone.
It's just like a random selection of every player, rostered or not.
So you draft Jamar Chase and snap, he's gone. Mm-hmm. All right. Plan accordingly.
I mean, that is truly cruel, that type of league. And I also don't know how you would achieve getting it, but
I don't know.
I
didn't exactly read a full write-up of it, but someone just kind of wrote a very quick tweet about it. It was either that or it was each week, half of your lineup, same thing, snap, is gone. Mm-hmm. Not like the players out of the league for the entire season. That seems less fun. But this week, ready, let's randomize it. Okay, you've lost these 5 players. Their scores do not count. Snap. So, I don't know. I'm not in the Thanos League yet. But I am in 9 leagues, and I also have asked my wife to have her league that she's in transfer the ownership of her team over to my email.
Okay.
So I don't have to log in and change her lineup for her when she texts me and says, is my lineup set? I'll just go ahead and take care of that.
Yeah, just let me.
Households, it's what we do. We split responsibilities, and I am the runner of the 10 fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
9. How many commissionerships do I have?
We're not.
1, 2.
We're not in the offer sheet league anymore.
3,
there was an
4.
offer sheet league once upon a time.
The offer sheet league had a lot of potential. It had potential.
Really tough to execute.
Yes.
So, everybody in an Empire League?
No, and
those are really not anything crazy. There's nothing really different about the season other than if you win 2 years in a row, you get the Empire pot. So that could be like a 20-year process,
right?
Before it sees
half the money that is in the pot stays. For someone to win
for an Empire pot that grows and grows and grows until somebody wins back to back.
Yep.
Which then in turn, if you've won, the previous champion will be rooted against like no other you've ever seen. Right. I am in a hockey league that does that.
I'd worry about collusion there and the potential for alliances. I'd be worried about that.
Well, is it collusion? So I am in a fantasy hockey league that has this rule, and there was the year I won, the next year. Is it collusion, or would this be expected that, the teams that are bad, we're about to go, we're still on our way to the playoffs. I know, none of these guys are trading with me. They're going to trade their guy. If they have the option and it's close, what are they going to do? They're going to send their good player to one of the other teams.
Yeah, that's collusion.
That's collusion? That'd be like not trading with the Chiefs in the NFL.
Yeah. If every team decided we can't do it. Yeah,
well, someone could. Someone could. They just, they're more likely, hey, you're on your way to the second championship in a row. He's offering the same thing. So unless you beat it, I'm taking his offer.
Right, but you would have a vested interest to not trade with that person because they're going to
help them.
Because they're going to win a pot that you could still win in the future.
That's right. It's over if you and the league starts over if you if you win it.
This scenario comes up where is this collusion? This scenario comes up in Settlers of Catan, which is a big, the Bills play this game a lot. Yeah. Allen and Spencer Brown. Have you played Catan?
I've never played it.
You don't know Catan?
No.
Catan's the same kind of situation where someone looks like they're in position to win. You really cannot play Catan without trading supplies back and forth. It's very difficult to do. So, whatever. You have it where it's don't trade with him, don't trade with her. Yeah. They're about to win, and sometimes that comes up. Anyway.
Brandon Beane says that Tre'Davious White could be back for week 1. He was not placed on IR this week at 53-man roster cutdowns. Could practice next week. We'll see. Said Wednesday will be a day to watch. That's the first practice report a week from yesterday. Christian Benford was absent from Bills practice yesterday. He was injured on Friday, left early, said he's okay, but he wasn't on the field yesterday. Khalil Shakir was for the first time since August 1st. UB opens their football season tonight at Minnesota. 8 o'clock kickoff, FS1 on television. You can listen to the game on our sister station, The Bet 1520. The Bulls are 17-point underdogs. There are actually a lot of games tonight. Some of the more notable ones, number 25 Boise State plays South Florida at 5:30. Nebraska is at Cincinnati at 9 o'clock. Both of those games are on ESPN. Ryder Cup announcement by Team USA. Captain Keegan Bradley did not pick himself. The captain's picks to go along with the automatic qualifiers include Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, and Cam Young, along with Ben Griffin and Sam Burns. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership.
My understanding is the league basically started out with about more than 10 games, maybe even 12 games for suspending Rashee Rice for what obviously was a very, very serious situation. And what happens in these cases, you could say, all right, well, you could basically take this to court, right, which would be not actual court, but NFL court, which would be one option, or the two sides could come together and come up with a common sense solution that adequately punishes Rashee Rice for something he definitely should not have done. Starts the season as it probably should, with him out the first 6 games. Kansas City will have to make it happen, develop other guys, but certainly for Rashee Rice, he is at least pleased that this is over with, and he knows his situation right now.
Ian Rappaport on the Rashee Rice 6-game suspension. He just took it. Like, fine, 6.
Yeah.
6-game suspension. He misses their first 6 games.
Which means he will play against the Bills.
Yes.
Which before, if they had waited till that hearing, then there was a chance he wouldn't. So.
Feels like it would have been, I guess so, if it was going to be a 6-game suspension.
And if it would have started on September 31st, he would have missed weeks 5 through 11, which would have included the Bills game.
Yeah. Now, if you're a conspiracy theorist that thought that the league was going to suspend him later to help the Chiefs, you got to readjust and now say, actually, now they're helping the Chiefs, and whatever. He's going to miss the first 6 games, which is not an easy first 6.
No.
The Chiefs' schedule is tough. They start with the Chargers, Eagles, Giants, Ravens, Jaguars, Lions.
Yeah, that's tough.
2-4. Let's have it.
2-4.
I mean, 3-3.
Who do you got them losing to?
Would you take 3-3?
You got them beating the Giants.
They're going to lose to the Ravens. They're going to lose to the Lions. They're going to lose to the Eagles. And maybe the Chargers.
They're going to beat Jacksonville?
I don't know, maybe.
That's a Monday night game. Of course it is, right?
1-5.
Actually, all of those games except for 2 are on, it looks like, are on national television.
Yeah.
2 Sunday night games, a Monday night game, a Friday night game.
And 2 4-25 games.
Yeah.
So you're watching every one of those games.
That first Friday game is on YouTube, huh?
Yes. Chiefs.
That is like the one NFL streaming platform I do not currently possess. Will I get it just for that game?
You don't need it. It's free for everybody. Have you seen
it's not YouTube? Oh, okay.
That game's on YouTube.
Not YouTube TV.
Correct.
Oh, sweet.
That
Great.
game is free for everybody.
Awesome.
803-0550 is our phone number, 1-888-550-2550. So, question for everybody out there.
Okay.
Two things can be true. Are you feeling like Poyer is good to have, or is somewhat concerning, or is both? Again, it is a practice squad signing, which kind of, has quieted things down. Yesterday, 9 o'clock, 9:15, when we found out, it was a little bit of a, this can't be to the active roster, the same way we did it with Jordan Phillips. Mm-hmm. Couple tweets on this. Kevin writes in, if it's good to have in the safety room, why do they not do it in every room, like the wide receiver room? That room needs more leadership. Beane does not have a wide receiver that played here for years, that was good to great, and was a good soldier. It's word service. That's according to Kevin. M writes in, when they signed Micah Hyde, the safety unit was being held together by Scotch tape. If anything, we're in a better spot. Full-ish offseason for Bishop. Hamlin not starting like last year. Better depth, in my opinion. Let's go. Full-ish offseason. Yeah, I mean...
The only different player in that safety room, though, is, at least on the active roster, is Jordan Hancock, a 5th-round pick.
Yeah, and it's not it is a fuller offseason for Cole Bishop, but everybody else kind of returned.
Yeah, he also was hurt.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, I want him to be an upgrade over DeMar Hamlin. I do not know that he'll be an upgrade over DeMar Hamlin.
Trevor writes in, whether the reason he's back is leadership to help play after ramping up, it's an indictment that the safeties are not trusted. I tend to agree. Like, it's a little. It's just a little. It doesn't have to be bad. I think it might be good, but it's concerning. Chuck asks a good question. He tweets in, why are we acting like we'd be better off with some no-name UDFA than Poyer? Same applies for Phillips. People need to react. It's a good depth signing that many teams can't bring in because former All-Pros wouldn't agree to go to their practice squads. That's not incorrect. Like, how many All-Pros? The Eagles just brought somebody back to their secondary. Same kind of situation. Like a really good player.
Epps, right? The safety?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike Epps. They brought back Mike Epps, who'd been with them for a long time. He's kind of back with them on their practice squad. Yeah, I mean, you could say that other teams wouldn't have an All-Pro go to their practice squad. If that player had played for that team, they might. Like, this is going back to the well on a player that the relationship is good or, has not been totally soured. So that's good. I guess, the difference between this and a no-name safety, had it been Derek Forrest instead, would anyone feel any different if the guy they signed, Derek Forrest, was on the practice squad? What I would say to that is just, I would think, they like a guy enough. He's young. He doesn't have any other options. Like, all right, it's the depth safety. It's just a guy that's the 55th man on their depth chart. And in the case of Poyer, it's didn't need an offseason, didn't need a training camp, didn't need anything to see. We just need someone we trust. To that point about the previous tweet, which said it means they don't trust their safeties. They might be saying it strongly. I'm not sure I disagree with it. But it's just they feel the need to get someone that knows what to do. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the path for Poyer starting feels more realistic than if they had signed some undrafted free agent to come be on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Right? Like that person you would think, like this is the safety they signed the same day. That, he is going to be a special teamer if he has a path to play at all. Sam Franklin, the other veteran safety that they signed. Like, okay, what's he going to be? Probably a special teamer if he ever gets in the lineup. Jordan Poyer, that's not going to be him. Right? Jordan Poyer's not doing what Sam Franklin's doing or Jordan Hancock is doing or even what DeMar Hamlin is doing on kickoffs and punt coverage and punt return. Like, Poyer's not doing any of that. So if there's any impact for him to be had on the field, it would likely be, he's playing on your defense at some point for some reason. And I do think that many guys you could sign to the practice squad, like the guy they already signed, is not the same thing. It's, this guy could be a guy they play on special teams at some point, on kickoff.
Yeah.
And that's never going to be Jordan Poyer. And right, wouldn't that be stunning if you saw him on a kick coverage at some point during the year?
Yeah, I think it'd be a little
surprising. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. And it could block them from doing something else at the position. Right? Like, if the Bishop experiment's going terribly by week 6, and we're starting to come up on the trade deadline, they might say, do we really need to go add somebody when we could just throw Jordan in there? That's a good question. That could totally be the case, that they would feel less of a need to go get a guy from outside the building if they feel like, we got Jordan Poyer. We're good.
803-0550. Trey White, there's not a timetable yet. Beane, yesterday, speaking with the media, didn't say much. Kind of said, we'll see if he can practice on Wednesday. So
yeah,
we'll see about Trey White. Max Hairston, going to need some time, right? 4 weeks at least, and then they'll see how it goes from there. So
he at least sounded better on Trey White than, I guess it could have gone worse. The Houston GM yesterday basically made it sound like Joe Mixon might not play all year. And when Beane was asked, I think he even got asked directly, could this be season ending? He's like, no, definitely not. So,
okay.
If it's going to linger into the year, the sense that I got was that it shouldn't be that too long.
Chase Claypool was day to day and then missed the year. Just saying. Last year, remember that? He was day to day.
Yeah.
And then waived injured and missed the year. I don't know if he might have been healthy by the time, but just didn't find a place to jump in. Anyway, 803-0550, our phone number. College football season's upon us.
Although now that I'm reading the story about Mixon, the headline was from Schefter even, Texans GM non-committal about Joe Mixon playing this season, and the quote was on that, we'll see, we'll take it one day at a time.
Did you draft him in fantasy anywhere?
I did not draft him in fantasy anywhere.
All right.
No. I might have some Woody Marks in some places, though. No. Who is the backup there? Well, Nick Chubb is the backup. But
Nick Chubb.
The rookie's there, too.
803-0550. Have a good trivia, instant trivia to get to at 7 o'clock and much more. By the way, I teased going to the break the world record for the longest egg toss.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
And I, along the way, found out that there's a world egg tossing championship.
Okay.
It's a sport. But the world record for the longest throw and catch of an egg is 323 feet and 2 inches.
How many yards is that?
Over 100.
100.
Yeah. Somebody threw
100 yards.
Somebody threw it from
without breaking
the goal line and caught it at the back of the next end zone, and it didn't break. I think we could throw it from the end of our row to the other at the new stadium.
I think that is more impressive by the egg than the participants that caught and throw it.
Were they using an ostrich egg?
It doesn't say what egg, does it?
I think it's
probably a chicken egg.
I think
right?
It's got to be a chicken egg. Yeah.
I think it's more impressive by the egg.
A hen's egg, yeah, fresh hen's egg. It happened November 12th, 1978. Johnny Del Foley did it in the United States of America. These United States, Jewett, Texas.
Just on a random day decided, hey, let's set the world record for throwing an egg.
Yeah. 803-0550. We'll give you our stadium review. We'll keep looking for leaks on the rivalries uniforms. We'll talk with you about Poyer as well. If you want to take on that, you can throw it our way. We are 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. A week from today. Eagles and Cowboys. And Micah Parsons is where?
Did he go somewhere?
I'm saying, like, he's not practicing.
No, he's not practicing.
You going to play?
The coach said that maybe he could play like limited snaps or something, but I don't know if he knows.
All right. Something to watch. Jeremy and Sneaky Joe here on WGR. Jeremy White here for big day.
And it's a big day after 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Hilariously, as expected, the NFL will announce, will reveal all the rivalries jerseys at 10 o'clock today. 10 o'clock!
Yep.
I didn't know we were a target of the league and Nike, so thank you for that. 10 o'clock. So we're going to stay on with Sal for 5 minutes. I told my wife, I'm like, I've stayed late tomorrow at work. Why? I have to say on the radio
Bills.
whether or not I think a jersey is cool.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
And they did a good job of no leaks. I have no idea.
There's a leak of Miami.
Oh,
Which
really?
I don't know if it's real or not, and I can't decide what to do with it.
All right, let's see here. I'm
The
excited.
Dolphins,
Miami Vice?
It's just a black jersey with some bright numbers. It doesn't make sense to me. It's got the area code on the helmet on the front of it. Nothing about that says any version of this represents the area, blah, 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 blah. I don't think those are them. I hope not.
See, the thing is, though, that the background, like the photo shoot,
Says
looks
rivalries and all that.
very
But
real.
couldn't someone just make that? Someone could
put
just
the rivalry series in the background.
Yeah.
They could, I guess. Yeah.
It's just the Dolphins jerseys that are on the internet. You just go to Twitter and search like Dolphins rivalries uniforms. You'll see them. It's the closest thing we've got to a leak. And it's Miami, so I don't want to get too bent out of shape. But if that is really them, then I'm already disappointed the entire series because it's just a black jersey with the Dolphins colors. It's not any sort of next level. It's not any sort of creative idea. It's we went with black.
I will say that I guess that does kind of line up with what their teaser video
How?
looked
They
like.
went with like water in the ocean, and what is it? A fish tank?
Well, the
numbers-
logo, like, you know how there was that gray logo at the end of the Bills video? The silver logo with the blue outline that, like, made it, like, we saw the logo, right?
Yeah.
The Dolphins logo that was at the end of that video looks like what that jersey is that we just saw.
That's right. It's like a black, it's like a negative base kind of.
Negative base.
Here's the other
I mean,
thing.
I don't know what the theme is, if there even is one, of, like,
Oh, you know, the theme
what
is
it's supposed to be,
The theme
but-
is Miami Nights, is what it is.
Miami
All right,
Nights.
good morning, everybody. Jeremy and Joe. It's going to rain today. August 28th, late. We're getting close to the elite season. Comfortably wearing a hoodie. I'm excited to put on pants. Let's do it.
I'm wearing
jeans.
I'm wearing pants right now, but not wearing a hoodie.
We are getting back into the shorts report time of the year.
Yeah.
I'm still in shorts. Hoodie and shorts. It is hoodie and shorts.
So they're interesting at wide receiver, but he said yesterday that he's uncertain about week one. He hasn't been running routes. It's a foot injury. And if you can think back to like when Sammy Watkins had foot injuries with the Bills, like how nagging those are. And I feel like if you got a fantasy draft this weekend, I love that player, Reed, but I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. I think it's going to be it's going to be all year that he's going to be dealing with that. So, Jaden Reed, like, even playing week one, not likely, and then I think maybe well beyond that. We'll see. Matthew Golden there. They signed Mecole Hardman yesterday, so they added another receiver.
Keep an eye out also on jersey numbers. We were talking yesterday. Some Bills players might switch numbers today. Luther Burden.
Did he switch?
Nature is healing. Yup.
From 87?
Burden got off of the tight end number. Luther Burden in Chicago is going to wear 13.
That's a lot better.
It's
a lot better.
Well, yeah.
It's what Keenan Allen wore last year for them. Yeah, that's
So
then
no-
87. That's better than
No 87 for Burden.
Yeah.
Jared Goff named the 15th best player in football by the NFL players in the NFL's top 100. That's ahead of Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
We got to play this Jalen Hurts clip that we did not play yesterday from Jason McIntyre on Colin Cowherd's show, calling Jalen Hurts the best dual threat quarterback ever. He's not even like top 5 in the league right now with that. Maybe he's 5th, right?
Right.
Lamar, Josh, Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Is he 4th?
No.
Who's 4th?
Behind,
Allen, Jackson, Daniels.
maybe he's
Drake May. Sorry. No, not yet. Not yet.
It's not Kyler.
Not yet. Not Kyler.
All right, maybe he's fourth.
Okay. Not best of all time, but like 4th right now.
Yeah. Bo Nix, maybe? No, not Bo Nix, right? That'd be crazy.
803-0550. Instant trivia when we return off of Jordan Poyer coming back. Give us a call on Poyer. Hang out for the trivia. And Brian Koziel at 7:30 here on WGR on the Ryder Cup. idea that
nighttime in Miami?
The night scene in Miami is a big deal.
Okay, right.
I look to see when they're going to wear them, and they wear them Monday, September 29th in a home game against the Jets.
Right.
This might be a stupid thing to think about, but Miami is not wearing black uniforms at home at 1 o'clock, right? I mean, I know they're in the shade, but maybe that's a part of this, is Miami's never been able to wear a black jersey just because they're in the sun all the time.
Right, they've got to wear a lighter color.
Hey, we're going to wear a black jersey. Like, okay, all right, I guess so. I think it's already...
It's definitely that is disappointing.
It's a disappointment.
Hey, if one team's going to have the disappointing one, the Dolphins having it would be kind of funny, though.
I'm into that, too. Right,
Yeah.
we've got the Bills are probably going to be white. Are they going to be white or snow or
White.
glacier, white, blue, whatever? Like, they're going to be a snow, ice kind of theme. That's the idea we get from the teasers. The Jets is about a swamp. Maybe theirs are blackish and dark green. Yeah, the Jets are about a swamp.
I didn't know that theirs was about a swamp.
A little bit about a swamp from what I watched the teaser.
What's the? I'd seen the Arizona teaser, the New England teaser, the Bills teaser. What's the swamp connection? Because they're in Jersey.
New York is a swamp. Yeah.
Or New York is a swamp.
Yeah. So, whatever. The Patriots is about nor'easters, wind and rain, and
Arizona's sandstorm, kind of.
the Seattle Seahawks
I'm
are about
expecting Arizona's to be the coolest. That is the team I would bet on being the coolest of the 8.
Well, we'll see. It all happens at 10 o'clock this morning. Sal's going to be here for the Extra Point Show. He has invited us in to give a quick review, so we'll do that. That's coming up at 10.
GM Brandon Beane meeting with the media yesterday. He said that Tre'Davious White is still a possibility for Week 1. Targeted next Wednesday as a date to watch, as that'll be the first injury report of the season for the Bills, and we'll see if Trey White practices then. Christian Benford, speaking of corners with injuries, was not at practice for the Bills yesterday. At least he didn't practice. He was on the side with the exercise bike. He left Friday's practice early, said he's fine, but then wasn't on the field yesterday. Khalil Shakir was on the field for the first time since August 1st, returning from his ankle injury. UB at Minnesota tonight, opening up the Bulls football season. It'll be on FS1 tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll have it on our sister station, the Bet 1520, as well. The Bulls are 17-point underdogs going into tonight. There's a bunch of college football games tonight. One ranked team, 25 Boise State, is at South Florida at 5:30. Later, Nebraska is at Cincinnati at 9 o'clock. Keegan Bradley making his Ryder Cup picks for Team USA. He was the captain, did not pick himself. Opts for Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, Cam Young, Ben Griffin, and Sam Burns for the U.S. team. That's to go along with their automatic qualifiers like Scotty Scheffler and others. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership.
Jordan and I initially spoke. I think he talked to Sean and Bobby separately around the same time, all the way back in May. We had conversations about what does he want next? Does he want to play? Does he not want to play? All those things. And we connected again when we got to St. John Fisher. And so we've had a lot of dialogue, and we talked all along that this may be a very good option. He's obviously got to make sure he's in shape to play and be ready if it happens. But yes, he's excited about also pouring into the other guys, and not necessarily just the DBs, just what this defense is about. Things that we talk about, toughness and edge and just personality.
Bills GM Brandon Beane yesterday talking about Jordan Poyer back on the practice squad. We learned about that yesterday morning during the show, late in the show. Had, some panic when we didn't know if it was practice squad or active roster. Practice squad is a little easier to take. I think that wouldn't any NFL GM tell you that practice squad means we're prepared for this person to play in a pinch? I mean, I think that's true of a lot of these guys. Last year, Shavers and Virgil were both elevated from the practice squad. I would expect Poyer to get in games this year for the Bills, and he's of course a great, one of the. I don't know if I want to drop one of the greatest Bills, but he has reached the mountaintop at his position, first team All-Pro. I mean, that's as high as you can get.
When it's all said and done, of like the best players that Allen ever played with, was on the same team with. Is he right now in the top 5?
Yeah. Last year, Hyde comes back in this role. This year, it's Poyer, and I think it's an elevated role. I think it's above what Hyde was going to do. Hyde had the injury. Could he ever play again? Would he ever play again? Poyer played last year and, walks in and says hi to Keon Coleman. And sorry about that blasted wrist shot, right?
Yeah, it's just so much earlier in the season, too.
Yeah.
So much earlier.
So I don't, we reacted yesterday live, and after hearing Brandon Beane talk about it, I'm not here to argue against what he can bring from a culture, leadership standpoint. I just think that's almost impossible to argue against. It's impossible to prove really one way or the other. And you can kind of just say that about anybody that you bring in. Will he be on the field? I will expect that he will be at some point. And that might be concerning. Like if that happens and he plays a lot of games and starts, if that happens, it's something went wrong. Whether that's injuries or he becomes the break glass in case of emergency. The safety conversation to me is a lot like the defensive line conversation. The difference is we're waiting for them to get better results. Mm-hmm. But at defensive line, they have 7 guys that might show up. And at safety, it's the same as last year. You're hoping that it's really the one guy, Bishop. And if it doesn't work for Bishop, well, here we are. If on defensive line, Ogunjobi doesn't pan out, okay, I got Deion Walker. If Deion Walker doesn't pan out, okay, I got Michael Hoyt and TJ Sanders and on and on. I've got edges. I've got Bosa. They wanted a better defensive line, better front four. There are a lot of options up there. They poured tons into it in terms of number of assets. And at safety, it was same group, Derek Forrest, and he's out and Poyer's in. So you're kind of hoping things turn for Bishop. And that's the side of it, Joe, as we'll get to your calls, 803-0550. You want to give us a call on this? Go for it. Jordan Poyer's back. That's the side of it where I would say I would do anything if I'm the Bills to make moves that I think could help Cole Bishop.
Yeah.
The season, to me, not like the season comes down to him, but it comes down to small margins, and whether that's Joey Bosa being great or Deion Walker being great or Cole Bishop locking down that job. Like, he's one of the variables. And we talked yesterday about Sean McDermott on Hard Knocks saying with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady, and I got a couple of young guys we're going to need. And I think he means Bishop. They're going to need Bishop. So if this helps Bishop, it's a great move. Otherwise, we're concerned. I think he can be good to have and also concerning.
He did make an impact in his last game with the Bills.
His last game with the Bills. He punched out the ball in the end zone and got the ball back for the offense.
He kept that game alive.
Yes.
It was a yard from being
a two-score game.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, nonetheless. Like, 2-score game in the fourth quarter. It's toast. He punches it out from Mecole Hardman at the 1-yard line.
Yep, to give the ball back to the Bills.
Yeah.
That is after the fake punt.
Right. He kind of saves McDermott from being, I think, a more polar, like more of a lightning rod that summer.
Right. If they fake a punt and go down 2 scores.
And that's that to everybody, that would have been the end of the game. Whereas now, as opposed to what actually happened, Poyer punches that ball out, and now it feels more like the end of the game was the Bass field goal or the 3rd and 9, and all that happened after.
Yeah.
But no one would remember anything that happened after that touchdown, except for that fake punt, if Poyer hadn't punched it out. And that's his last game with the Bills.
The Bills ran, I'm just going back to that game. The Bills ran a fake punt on 4th and 5 at their own 30. And the Chiefs, maybe this is
DeMar
something.
Hamlin.
Yeah, to DeMar Hamlin. This is something maybe worth mentioning. The Chiefs went 29 yards on the first play after that.
Okay, right.
It's
get down to the 2?
Yeah.
The 3?
To get to the 2.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-yard pass, and Hardman fumbles, courtesy of Poyer.
Right.
It's
then the Bills got another stop because they went 3 and out right after.
Yes, it's another one of those.
I don't remember that either.
It's another one of those examples where, like, everyone wants to always key in on the defense, and the Chiefs in that game, they score 27 points. That's right. They got 27. But you gave the ball back to your offense at 27-24 twice. 27-24 twice. And after Poyer punched that ball out against the Chiefs in the end zone to give the ball back to the Bills at the 20-yard line, what happened? The next drive? 3 and out, minus 2 yards.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Right? I mean, the GM said I would take the ball down to Kansas City, down 3 every time.
And they did it twice in the same game.
And then last year, I mentioned when Jordan Phillips signed earlier in the week, Joe Marino had the video of this on Twitter, that the Chiefs had first and goal, tie football game, and Jordan Phillips gets a sack. They force a field goal. So 2 years in a row, the defense kind of did their job at the end. If their job is just getting Allen a chance.
If it's make a play.
Make a play to get your quarterback a chance to get the ball back and go win the football game. That is 3 stops in the fourth quarter on Kansas City in 2 playoff games in 2 years that gave your offense a chance to go win the game. The thing they couldn't do in 13 seconds, they've done, and these aren't even great defenses. Right. They have done it 3 times at least in those last 2 playoff games that we just went through.
Yep.
I mean, one of them, I don't want to call it lucky. One of them is the Chiefs are a yard away from getting in. But the other two drives are just stops.
Sometimes, I don't know if you guys out there listening do this. You go back to a game 2 years ago. I mean, we still talk about 13 seconds. All these Chiefs losses, maybe they blend together and we forget about them. But one more thing from that game 2 years ago, the game here. So Poyer, it's relevant because of Poyer, right? He makes that play. The Chiefs go up 27-24. The Bills go 4 and out, fake punt Hamlin. Down to the Bills' 1 yard line, Poyer forces the fumble. The Bills get it back. They go 3 plays, minus 2 yards, and punt. The Chiefs get it back and go 5 plays, 8 yards, and punt. And then the Bills go before the Bass kick. And this is something I would want to discuss, and maybe we did at the time. Although now that I'm thinking back to it, I remember saying after they lost that game that I hated their game plan. Their game plan was to squeeze the ball. What'd they do on the drive where Bass misses the kick?
All I remember, the Diggs drop, there was a Sherfield drop, and they just slowly go down the field.
16 plays. 54 yards, 6:40 off the clock. During that drive, granted, the Diggs drop is huge. It's the first play of that drive.
Yeah.
The first play is the Diggs drop. Then 15 plays to go 54 yards. And just, man, gotta find a way somewhere. Anyway, 803-0550. You want some instant trivia?
Yes.
Let's do instant trivia.
Instant trivia.
We'll do instant trivia here off of Jordan Poyer signing with the Bills. Now, Jordan Poyer has made a first-team All-Pro.
Yep.
All-Pro Poe, as he's called sometimes. Since 2000, 7 other Bills players have been named a first-team All-Pro. 2000 to today. First-team All-Pros.
7 other Bills. Okay. All right, let me start with, because I think they did it in the same year, Mario Williams and Marcel Darius.
Both are correct.
Okay. It's the best defensive line I've ever seen the Bills have in my lifetime. Okay. Tre'Davious White.
Also correct.
Since 2000?
Yep, since 2000.
Matt Milano.
Correct.
I don't think Josh has. Is that right? Allen hasn't?
He has not.
He's not been a first-team All-Pro.
He's not ever been a first-team All-Pro.
Well, that was the thing last year, right? The Lamar was first-team All-Pro, and Josh won the MVP. Okay, so if it's not him...
You have 3 more.
What about Jason Peters?
No.
Not with the Bills, at least?
Nope.
Okay. How about... They give first-team All-Pro for returners, right? Terrence McGee.
No, not Terrence McGee.
Okay. One more specialty guy. Did Brian Moorman ever get named first-team All-Pro?
Twice.
Twice?
He is their
Look at that.
He is their most recent double first-team All-Pro guy.
Love it.
05 and 06, Brian Moorman. And before that, the most recent one to make a second All-Pro is Bruce.
Bruce and Moorman.
I mean, there's more than
What
that.
a club.
Bruce.
Oh, before that, too.
Yeah, there's Bruce, 8 first-team All-Pros.
8 first-team All-Pro.
Yeah. 87, 88, 90, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97.
That's insane. Okay, so how many left?
Two left. First-team All-Pros.
I mean, for all the running backs they had, did a running back ever do it? I don't think so. You need, like, a guy to lead the league in rushing. What about... Like, did Reuben Brown make it since 2000? Reuben Brown. That's
No.
a guess.
No. He made 8 Pro Bowls, but never first-team All-Pro.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me see if it's never first-team
Maybe
All-Pro.
maybe it was before 2000 because he played in the 90s, too. It'll give me time to think
No,
about...
never a first-team All-Pro.
What about Spikes?
Correct.
Takeo Spikes. Love that.
Takeo Spikes.
Loved Takeo Spikes.
And you're missing only one.
One other first-team All-Pro. Is there another guy on this? Oh, Diggs.
Correct. 2020.
Of course.
Yep.
That was the only time he did it?
Yep. Once, 2020. He was second-team All-Pro. I'm sorry, no. First-team All-Pro once.
Yeah.
5 Pro Bowls for Diggs. 4 Pro Bowls for Diggs.
But only the one first-team All-Pro.
Yep.
Okay.
7 other Bills. Poyer, and that's the list. Nice job. And instant trivia.
It's not a lot.
Who's the most likely Bill to be the next, other than Josh? Josh has got a good look at first-team All-Pro somewhere. Who is the next most likely to be a first-team All-Pro?
Dawkins or Spencer Brown?
I don't mind that
Is
answer.
left tackle around Dawkins getting older? Trent Williams, I'm thinking about a little bit. Like, is there a window coming for him to be Lane Johnson also is getting old on the right side. Maybe Spencer Brown could jump in there.
Yep.
I don't know there's another player on the roster that's even.
Benford. Maybe not this year.
I don't know that Benford is ever going to get that.
Yeah, the
level
Christian
of-
Benford awareness campaign continues. He was, he was not in the NFL's top 100 this year.
No.
Right? It's only Cook,
No, and
Dawkins, and Allen will show up, unless Benford shows up in the top 16.
And that executives and scouts poll didn't put him in the top. Didn't even put him in.
They didn't name him.
They named him on others receiving
there were
votes.
29
They
corners
named
named.
Taron Johnson over him.
Right.
Right.
Didn't
So
get named.
yeah, I don't know how close he is to a first team All Pro. I don't think he's really that close at all. I don't know what he would have to do, but he's been paid now. One thing you could do is lead the league in interceptions, but that's not really him or their offense or their defense. So it's not going to happen via that. If he has a big moment in a big game, that could help. Like if he picked off, if they finally beat Kansas City, they finally did it in a playoff game, and he had the clinching interception, that could raise his profile as much as anything. Although I was going to say it's the Gilmore treatment, where Gilmore goes to New England, gets on national TV all the time, and everybody realizes how good he was.
Right.
But the difference there is Benford is on national TV all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But I guess you just don't notice him because teams don't throw at him? I don't know. I don't know what makes a corner a big-time star and get accolades. It's draft status sometimes. Right?
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
fighting against draft status. How does
It can
Tre'Davious
be-
White get a first-team All-Pro in part? Because everyone knew he was a first-round pick. He was supposed to be good. Maybe not that good, but he was supposed to be good. You're a sixth-round pick, and again, I still think wearing number 47 hurts him. I think it's tougher for you.
There's something about it.
So I don't think he'll be the next.
Maybe
first-team
it's that
All-Pro.
he's not been part of a. Has he been part of a great defense?
Ooh, that too. I mean,
Right? Benford's been very good to great. What's the best the Bills' defense has been under him?
I mean, they've been good.
They've been good.
Relatively.
Their best years are Poyer, Hyde, Tre'Davious White, and the other guy that's not Benford. Benford
Right.
kind of shows up. Imagine if they had Benford in the 13 seconds here, or if they have Benford across from Trey White while the other three were there. It's like they just missed that window. But if he's part of a number one ranked defense, you get more attention.
Definitely. That first year might be his best defense he's a part of, and he only started 5 games. He was hurt.
803-0550 if you want to join us. Brian Koziel coming up in about 10 minutes on the Ryder Cup. Sal at 8 on what we learned yesterday from Beane and Poyer. And at 8:30, Cody Alexander of the Talk Ball podcast. He had some stuff to say about the safety position for the Bills, how they use Cole Bishop, how you can see a little bit of maybe their doubt in the way that they play. So we'll talk to him coming up at 8:30. For a quick moment here, we had a chance to tour the stadium yesterday.
Yeah.
The new Highmark Stadium, our thanks to the Bills for bringing us in again. John Polka took us through, and there's Yumi, Sal, and Brayton, and two Bills fans that came to our Wayland event for the 100 holes and won a chance to come through the stadium with us. So we had a crew go through, and thoughts, reviews?
So it's coming along, right? Like, there was a lot of stuff all around it, like materials and whatnot. The outside is starting to look as spaceshipy as possible, for sure. Like, as the exterior is going on,
you're getting
there.
a lot of the windows, a lot of the glass, a lot of the exterior where the wind confusion is. Like, that's starting to go up. But on the inside,
I feel like every place we went to see like different vantage points from where, like, if you're in the upper deck looking at the stadium, or you're behind the end zone, or you're in the top of the 100, like wherever we went, I'm just thinking, this is a great view. This is a great view. Like, this is a great, like, nowhere they've taken us, I'm like, no, this is better than the same seat at the current stadium.
Yeah, it's hard to,
especially when you get higher. Like, higher now, you feel so far away, and we had already seen that the first time we went around, but we saw it maybe even more this time, where you're up there and you're high up, but you feel like you're right at the field.
That's the thing. Like, if you think about heights, right? Just all right, for a second, think about heights. The more you'd be 100 feet up in the air on a hill, and you're like, oh, it's not that high. Make that a cliff, it feels a lot higher.
Yeah,
it's the same actual elevation.
Right, you've gone from a hill to a cliff.
Yeah. That's kind of what the upper deck has been. I tweeted a picture from where our seats are going to be. You and I both coincidentally got seats in the same section.
Yeah.
And one of the responses I got was, is there an oxygen mask? And I wanted to say, you don't understand. You are closer.
You're so much closer.
Steep, but you are closer. So you might think you're higher, but man, you are way closer. And the other thing I want to say about it is, I don't know if the Bills would prefer calling it the smallest big stadium you've ever seen or the biggest small stadium you've ever seen. Whatever. Maybe neither of those.
Yeah.
Because it is intimate. When I say tight, I don't mean cramped. It is vertical. You can tell how much more vertical it is.
Yeah.
The canopy also, there's another thing that's kind of a little bit of a phenomenon about the canopy. If you look up from above, a drone goes over the stadium and you look, you're like, wow, the canopy covers a lot. Mm-hmm. When you get in the stadium, you look up and think, the canopy doesn't cover as much as I thought. It covers the upper deck. If you're in the lower bowl and you're not covered by other seats, like you are in the elements, in the sun.
Yeah, there's a couple rows but it's not much.
The field is
of the lower deck.
The field is in the sun. The field is in the elements. Then there's just the ease of walking around it. Again, we had to dodge, like, everybody's working there all the time, construction, that kind of stuff. One of the things I'm really kind of blown away by is, so if I understand this correctly, they're going to have security gates, and then a big gap, and then your tickets.
Right.
So there's an area. Think about when you go in the stadium now. The security checkpoint and the ticket checkpoint are what, 6 feet apart?
Yeah.
Leading to these massive kind of bottlenecks. And now there'll be the security checkpoint to get you into the stadium bigger area where there's going to be stuff to do.
Right.
And then the ticket, it almost feels like you're walking into a dome or a field house. Glass doors that are just going to open up. And when you walk from, I sent, like, my father-in-law and the group that they're going to be, I sent them a picture. They're going to walk in the door and be in their seat in 17 seconds.
Because it's right there.
It's right there because so much of it is walking into I should say, like, main concourse. Right now, you walk in through the gates. What do you got to do? If you're in the 100 level, what do? Well, you walk around the big towers and you go down to the area or down some stairs, or down those big ramps that go back and forth, through the concourse, through a thing, into the bowl. Now, you go through the glass door in the stadium and you walk in, you start to see the field immediately. You can see it from everywhere. There's going to be standing room all over this thing with a drink rail. The pressure to... one thing we were talking about up where we sit, you've got the stairs that come up, and will people be standing on the landings and maybe in your way? And the answer is no. They'll walk down the stairs and see the game from where they are there.
Right.
Because you can see it from everywhere. So ease of access, walking around, just the sheer size of it, the number of things that they thought of, the views of the city, some of the
views of the city, and you can see all the way to Niagara Falls from that deck that they took us out.
It's just really impressive. And there are some places there, some suites and some rooms. Like I don't know if I'll ever see those rooms, but the people that are going to go in there, like, I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's just really impressive. It's impressive, and we still haven't even really seen amenities and how it works in that regard. It's just the build. So
the build, the angles, the heights, I do think getting a sense of like what the canopy is going to be like for many, because from where we were, like where our seats are, and this is again like in the 400 level, from where we're looking, you do totally feel like you're outside. Mm-hmm. Like you're just out in the open air, like you're looking forward and like you got the whole blue sky there, and then you look directly up. And not only are you covered by the canopy, but like the canopy is like way over your head. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like it's where you're right at the edge. Like it is way over your heads because it's covering the 300 level too. And again, like a little piece of the 100 level bowl below you. So it's like you might think like, oh, if I'm way back up there, I'm like kind of up against it. Maybe I feel like I'm in a dome or something. You're going to feel like you're outside. You're just not going to be dealing with any of the negative part of that. Like you're not going to have water, coming at you at all, unless it's like 70 mile per hour winds, I think.
I got a lot of questions about what intel did I get on the size of the buffaloes.
Well, we saw where they'll be.
You can see the family circle. You can see the podium or the slab where the buffaloes are going to stand.
Yep.
I'm just going to say this. This was probably always the case.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to think they're not big enough. Right? And that's probably always the case.
People want them to be 100 feet.
I mean,
I want them to be 100 feet.
We did at one point say that the Buffalo should be big enough to look into the stadium. Which, that would be large.
It would.
Maybe we asked for a lot. I can't really envision how big they're going to be yet, but we've seen the area where they're going to be. They're going to be big. If you were looking for, 70-foot Buffaloes, I don't think you'll be getting those.
No, I don't think. I don't think they're going to be 70.
The good news is the stadium is going to be such a star of the show. Mm-hmm. You're going to get over it quick. Like I just can't wait to be in there. The jumbotrons can't wait. Like that's the other thing. We're in there. We're not even seeing.
Yeah,
it's not even fully wrapped on the outside. There's places where light comes in where it won't.
I think the Legends deck is going to be really cool that they have there. Where like now they have the players, the alumni come out onto the field to do the right here, right now before the game. There's going to be like a deck for that. Like right where, like in the stands, kind of, but like out in its own like section, and then that'll be a standing room for people. So I think the way they're doing that too is going to be really cool.
And it really is like Brayton Wilson just tweeted out some video of the inside. I retweeted that if you want to go check that out. Brayton Wilson of GR and Beane. Picture in the current stadium that the suite level that's at the back of the 100s slides over top of it or right up against it. And then the entire club comes up to the same starting line. And the entire 300 level comes up to the same starting line instead of the constant kind of moving back. From the 100 to the 300 and 400 level on the sides of the stadium, it is straight up.
Mm-hmm.
You're so much closer. It's just the views are going to be incredible. So anyway, 803-0550. Brian Koziel on the Ryder Cup. When we return, Sal at 8 on Jordan Poyer coming back to the practice squad. All coming up here on WGR.
Bills GM Brandon Beane meeting with the media yesterday. You can find that on our website, WGR550.com. Beane says Tre'Davious White is a possibility for week 1 against the Ravens. We haven't seen him back at practice yet. Said target next Wednesday. See if he's on the field for their first injury report before Baltimore. That's in 6 days. Christian Benford was absent yesterday after being injured on Friday. Khalil Shakir was on the field for the first time since August 1st. Around the NFL, Rashee Rice suspended 6 games. Chiefs receiver is going to miss the first month and a half of the season. He had a hearing for September 31st. Could have waited and fought it and took it during the year, but instead accepts a suspension to start the season. UB at Minnesota tonight. The Bulls open their season 8 o'clock, FS1 for TV, ESPN or the Bet 1520 for tonight's broadcast on the radio. Bulls are 17-point underdogs. A couple other college games tonight. 25 Boise State against South Florida at 5:30. Nebraska at Cincinnati is at 9 o'clock. We got our Ryder Cup picks for the U.S. We'll talk about it with Brian Koziel coming up next. Those are your Paddock Chevrolet sports headlines. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership.
Well, I did know in the back of my mind that I just wanted to be the captain. But again, I was going to do what I thought was best for the team. So I really, truly felt this whole time that I needed to be the captain from the very start. And, my vice captains knew that. A lot of the players knew that. And then, after Hartford, I sort of had to back off that a little bit and be more open to the idea of playing. Still with the idea that I really just wanted to be the captain. I really want to leave this process knowing I did everything I could as a captain. And I was worried if I played, I might not be able to do that.
Keegan Bradley makes his captain's picks for the Ryder Cup. We'll spend some time on that with Brian Koziel. Golf's team event, U.S. versus Europe, coming up at the end of next month. And Brian Koziel, host of Tee to Green, and other things, of course, joins us on the Western Hotline. Brian, good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Any surprises here? I mean, I guess the biggest question is whether or not Bradley should have chosen himself. So I guess let's start there. Personal choice here. You kind of can't get after him because it was up to him. I don't know if anybody would have been mad. He's deserving, right? So what do you make of the decision from Bradley?
Yeah, I think the surprise or the question coming in on these picks was Bradley going to pick himself or not? And ultimately, you hear him explain it. You heard a little bit there in that soundbite that, you can understand maybe why he didn't. I'm sure, too, the pressure to perform is always there in a Ryder Cup. But now if you pick yourself, like if you don't perform, like it's going to look like, oh, my goodness, this is the reason we lost. I think for him, I mean, geez, what a year. All the duties, all the pressure, you're watching players all year long, guys that you're friends with that you may have to tell them no. We know, the Netflix call from or the Netflix show with Zach Johnson calling Keegan Bradley 2 years ago, which when he was probably deserving to be a captain's pick and wasn't, and then maybe the PGA of America reacted and said, oh, well, we'll make Keegan captain for the next one to kind of, patch things up a little. I mean, what a kind of different setup for him, where 2 years ago he's in tears on this show. We're seeing the reaction, him and his wife, for not making the team. Now he's in charge of making the decisions, could ultimately pick himself. He had to make those phone calls, the good ones, the bad ones. In the end, I think it's very easy to argue that after Scottie Scheffler, Keegan Bradley is playing as good as any American golfer is right now. So is the team weaker on paper because he's not playing? I think I can say yes to that. Do I understand the decision of why he didn't pick himself? I also understood that too. So, in the end, maybe we say, well, would it be stronger if Bradley was playing? I guess I could say yes, but I totally understand why he didn't.
Was there one person that he picked as a captain's pick that would have been obvious that he is better than for this tournament, or were they all close enough to where that's where he kind of gets away with it?
Yeah, I think you're right with that, Joe. Like, there's not one person there that you're like, oh my goodness, like there's no way he should be on this team over Bradley. Like, I think there's an argument to be made for all 6 of the guys that he took. And I guess I could make an argument for stepping one of them aside too. Like, they say, well, Sam Burns, one of the best putters in the world. You want to have guys that make putts in the Ryder Cup. It seems like, if you're a U.S. fan, Europe just continues to make putts in these events, and the U.S. doesn't. So you want a great putter. He also plays well with Scotty Scheffler. But Burns has had an up-and-down year. He had a really good chance at the U.S. Open, but has kind of been hot and cold throughout. Patrick Cantlay, he hasn't had a really good season. He's come on late, over the last few weeks playing better. Some guys struggle playing with him because, if you've watched golf over the playoffs these last 3 weeks, he plays at a snail's pace. He takes forever. Some guys don't like that. So there's that layer to it. I think the other guys, Morikawa, to me, I don't know if he, even on paper over the last 4 months, has played well enough to be on this team, but he's a name. He was 7th in points over the last 2 years of points accumulation. I guess you could say it's deserving. 2-time major winner. He's played in these big-time events before. So, again, I can kind of spin an argument for all of them. So, to answer your question, I don't think there's one guy on this list of 6 that he took that I think I could say clear cut, like they should be off and Bradley should definitely be in.
We got to have Bradley run the analytics on which European player is most affected by delay of play.
Oh, is Hatton going to play for Europe?
Get somebody that's going to get mad.
That dude will lose his mind against Cantlay.
You got to find a way.
Yeah.
Brian, to that point, one of the biggest things, like you said, you could pick your players. One of the bigger narratives, and maybe it's true, maybe you subscribe to it in the golf world, is that the European team does a heck of a lot better job at actually being a team. So can Bradley change that narrative about the U.S., and do they have the guys to do it?
Yeah, he talked about that yesterday, and he said that was a piece of it, and he feels like that they have that dynamic in the room. He says there's a lot of players in here that are very, very tight, that their families have gotten to know each other stronger, kind of be that mentality. It is weird. Like, you'd think it would be the other way around. Like, everybody on the U.S. team is from the same country, and everybody from Europe, you've got it all spread out. Some are from, you got, Sweden, you've got England, you've got Scotland, you've got Ireland, it's Spain. You wouldn't think maybe that would be the tougher gel spot but Europe always seems to kind of have that team bonding mentality that seems to help them in this competition. I think, for a long time too, during, maybe the last 10, 15 years, you had Tiger on the team, you had Mickelson on the team. These are very polarizing, individuals. And sometimes it was tough to figure out, who's best to play with them. And then if you're a player that's playing with Tiger, there's also that, eternal pressure. And Woods, incredibly, for every single record that he has in golf, didn't have the greatest record in Ryder Cups. He had a good singles record, but that was him on his own. When he was playing with partners, that didn't seem to go well. Yeah, that dynamic of that kind of team aspect, Europe has definitely done a better job with. But Bradley seems to think, with what his strengths are as a captain, which is kind of the rallying cry, the emotional leader, bringing the passion to the event, which Bradley will bring. I think he hopes that, at the very least, they can get it to the level that Europe normally does.
So it's in the U.S., it's at Bethpage Black. The U.S. has the best player in the world in Scotty Scheffler on their team, Brian. So should they be favored?
You know what?
And also, we don't have Team Europe, right, yet? So, maybe it's too early to ask that.
Yeah. I think when you look at Europe, I think they're the deeper team. I mean, they're automatic 6 that's already in. It's McIlroy, it's McIntyre, it's Fleetwood, it's Rose, Rasmus Højgaard, and Tyrrell Hatton. Those 6 are in. And then if they're going to do their captain's picks next week. But Lowry is 7, Straka, who's won twice, is 8, Oberg, who's got a ton of talent, he's 9. Then from there you have Hovland and Fitzpatrick. Now Matt Wallace is 12, but I think a lot of people are thinking that John Rahm's going to go in there and be a pick there that kind of slides in. But, if you throw Rahm in there with all those other names, I think Europe is deeper. I am surprised the U.S. is favored, but it's probably the home course, it's Bethpage, and it's still the fact that they have the clear-cut best player. Unless Scheffler physically demands not to play in all sessions, I mean, it would be you have to slam dunk. He's going to play in every single session, so that's going to give them an advantage in any time he's playing. Yeah, I mean, I was checking the lines. I was talking with Mike Show about this yesterday. The U.S. entering the day yesterday was -125. After the picks yesterday, some Books had it up to minus 140 for the U.S. Now, next week when the Europe team's announced and everybody starts to talk about them, maybe it'll get pushed back to kind of settle back into where it was. But winning on the opposition's turf, I guess you'd say, as the road team, it's only happened twice in the last 10 Ryder Cups. It's very, very tough to do. Rory McIlroy had even said, like, hey, that's what we need to do. We need to kind of buck the trend and win at Bethpage. That seemingly is getting harder and harder every year. The course setup, the home squad gets to set up the course. And Bradley talked about this yesterday. He said they're going to do a huge deep dive on analytics with their 12 guys, what they do well, what they don't do well, and set up the course to do that. In general, I would say when the U.S. sets up the course, they like to make it a little bit more forgiving. They usually are the team that has the bombers. You know, you've got DeChambeau and guys like that. And usually Europe likes to make it tighter and more penalizing and more of an accuracy kind of thing when they do their setup, which the Americans sometimes really get in trouble with. So he had said that probably they will follow similar suit. Bethpage Black is super tough. They can make it, the toughest course if they want to. I just don't know if ultimately that'll benefit the U.S. team in the end.
Thanks, Brian. We're looking forward to it. A month from today will be the Sunday final round. So, drama. Good stuff. Thanks, Brian.
Yes. Okay, you got it. We'll have more Saturday. We're at Gulf Dojo on Niagara Falls Boulevard Saturday, 7 to 8 on Tee to Green.
Very good.
Perfect.
Tell Jeff we said hi. Tell Jeff and Kevin we said hi.
I will.
Thanks, Brian. Brian Koziel of Tee to Green. One thing I wonder, will it be rowdy or did they price out rowdy fans?
It's so expensive.
It's unbelievably expensive.
Like, last year we were there. I played it last year, and they were, like, selling tickets, and maybe it was even like an opportunity to do it before they went on sale to the public if you were there. And even that was like, we're all looking at each other. We can't possibly drop $1,000 to go to this tournament.
Sal at 8 o'clock. When we get back, Jim, if you can hang on, he's got a question about the stadium. Would love to answer any questions you have about the stadium. We walked through it, and I like to kind of, give any sort of answers we can. So, Jim, if you can stick with us, we'll get to that question and answer. And Sal at 8 on WGR. Hey, coming up on Saturday, there's an event you can go to for dogs, pets. Yeah. Join Buffalo's Khalil Shakir and Northtown Toyota for the Shakir Family Pet Adoption Event Saturday, 11 to 3 at Northtown Toyota, 1135 Millersport Highway in Amherst. Meet lovable pets ready for adoption from local rescues, grab bites from food trucks, shop local vendors, enjoy giveaways, raffles, and live entertainment, all for a great cause benefiting Nickel City Canine Rescue, Awesome Paws Rescue, and Buddy's Second Chance. Saturday, 11 to 3. Jim in Williamsville on through the break. Hey, Jim, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I enjoy listening to you and learning from you. And admittedly, I got a little excited when it came my turn to get my PSLs and whatnot at the new stadium. And I forgot to sort of check out how many actual rows there are.
Yeah.
As an example, I'm in section 428, row Josh Allen.
17.
Right? See
Okay.
Jim Kelly. Right. But I forgot to look behind. And I'm just wondering during your tour, and I know they're a little bit different, but how many total rows? I'm trying to gauge if I'm halfway up, if I'm all the way up, like that.
So the 400 level, I'm going to ask this question to the Bills. The two sides of the stadium are a little different because the press box side of the 400 level, I don't have the exact number on this. I'll get that for you. But I would say there are 3 times as many on the other side. Is it 15 rows on the press box side and 32 on the non-press box?
Yeah,
one side of the stadium has a giant,
structure
where
on top.
everything's up there for the media, the press, the radio booth, the teams, the coordinators. That's
There's
all
a couple suites up there.
that's on one side of the stadium at the very top.
Yeah.
On the other side, it's rows of seats all the way to the top.
Right.
So if you are on the side that's on the non-press box side and you're in row 17, my guess is you might be halfway. But I'll try to get those numbers for you and let you know.
But there is a difference from one side to the other. Yeah.
Josh, pick up Jim's, ask him for his phone number, because I want to make sure he hears the answer to this question when we get it for him.
Yeah.
We could say it on the air, but if he's not listening, he wants to know.
Right.
Your ticket rep might also be able to tell you that if you want to call and ask that question. All right. Thanks, Jim, for the phone call. It's definitely a big difference. Like on television, where the cameras are, I like to call this right side up. Like the logo is going to be right side up. When you're looking out at the full stadium from the right side up side, it'll look massive across the way. Whereas on the visitor side, you're going to see, press box taking up a good. It might be only 10 rows, might be 15 rows.
Yeah. One other thing I do want to mention very quickly, because some seats, like we went through this process where some seats can look like they have the stairwells like in your field of view, and I really did not notice that when we were looking yesterday as something that would bother me. And also, they told us about like they're looking at like glass panes as the stairwells, so that even if there is a little bit of a stairwell like in your field of view, that it'll be clear and you can just look through it like it's hockey boards. Basically,
when I was going through the process, I expressed concern, like, "Hey, is that going to be in my way?" And standing in the spot, it's not as in the ways you think.
And if it's glass, like again, it'll be like I feel like it's a little piece of it might be like you're looking through the glass at like row 3 to Sabre game.
Yep. Chudley writes in on the chat. Escalators, stairs, top level. Yes. To go all the way to the press box, you're going elevators. But to go to the main concourse, there's some stairs. But again, you enter at the top of the main concourse,
right,
where you're walking down to seats again. All right. 803-0550. Sal Capaccio, when we get back, Brandon Beane spoke yesterday about Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer. We'll chop it up with Sal. And at 8:30, Cody Alexander, the Talk Ball podcast. I want to talk to him about Cole Bishop, the safeties, this McDermott defense, how it evolves. The film guy for the Talk Ball podcast. We'll get to that at 8:30. Don't miss that here on WGR.
Bills GM Brandon Beane met with the media yesterday and said that Trey White is still a possibility for Week 1. Hasn't returned to practice yet. The first injury report will be next Wednesday, 6 days from today. Trey White and Max Harrison not the only injured corners. Christian Benford was not at practice yesterday, or at least he wasn't on the field. He was off to the side on an exercise bike. He was injured on Friday. Did say, though, he's fine, so shouldn't be too serious there. Khalil Shakir was on the field for the first time since August 1st. That's good news. Beane's comments you can find in full on demand, WGR550.com and the Odyssey app. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice suspended 6 games by the National Football League, and he will miss the first 6 games of the year, so he will be eligible to return by the time the Chiefs play the Bills in the middle of the season. UB at Minnesota tonight, 8 p.m. for the Bulls' first game of the season. FS1 for TV tonight, the bet 15-20 on the radio. The Bulls are 17-point underdogs. Other college games, 25 Boise State against UCF at 5:30. Nebraska is at Cincinnati at 9 o'clock. There's a bunch of other games tonight involving Big 5 programs. Smaller opponents, Oklahoma State, for instance, playing against FCS school. Ryder Cup picks. Captain Keegan Bradley did not pick himself. He opted for Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, Cam Young, Sam Burns, and Ben Griffin to go along with the automatic qualifiers like Scotty Scheffler and others. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership.
We get to Sal Capaccio, just tweeted out, the countdown clock hits 0. On our YouTube stream, we've added a Sal clock. G's running the YouTube account today, and Sal, I didn't know we had a Sal clock. But we have a Sal clock now.
I've seen it in the afternoon. Apparently, it's never been in the morning before, but I've seen it on the afternoon shows.
All right, well.
Now I know I got to be timely.
That's right. We're down to 0s on the Sal clock. You're here to talk about what happened yesterday. Before we get into Brandon Beane, Jordan Poyer, and the news of yesterday, we just last segment were answering a question about the stadium, and you were on that tour with us yesterday. So your quick takeaways on walking through the new Highmark once again is it's less than a year until we'll ultimately be in there for football games.
Well, I think just big picture, it's going up quick, right? There's a lot of new things happening all the time. You don't really realize what's happening inside when you're outside of it all the time. That was the first time I had been there in about a year, actually. There had been other stadium tours I just couldn't be a part of, so yesterday was my first chance to do that. And you see everything going in the outside, and now it's really starting to pick up there. But, man, once you go inside, it looks like a stadium, right? It's finally, you have what are kind of like bleachers right now that will be seats eventually, right? They have everything in there. The slabs are ready, and even the metal brackets, the brackets for the seats to go in are coming in. But I would say this, and I think you guys agree, I don't know if you said this or not, I don't think there's a bad seat in the house. I don't think there's a bad seat in this Highmark Stadium. You can be a little further away. This one is more pitched, as we know. Even when you're up top, Jeremy, the seats that you'll have, that you stood there and looked at, we all stood there, like, it's a great seat, and you're a little higher up, but you're really not, you know what I mean? Because you're right there on top of the field. I think the things that the fans don't see that, eventually you will in pictures or whatever, but where the players get to go as far as training and pregame and the locker room and everything at their disposal is just awesome. And this is coming from somebody, like, I like this stuff. I've been to all but 3 NFL stadiums. I see a lot of this stuff around the league. The Bills will be very, very well taken care of in their ability to prepare for a football game, play a football game, and have everything they need.
It's going to be incredible.
Yes.
Wish we could tell more people exactly that and drive home how, while you say there's no bad seat in the current Highmark or no bad seat in this new Highmark, it is going to be a different experience. And one other thing I say, Sal, is you might go to 10 games. I mean, you get season tickets, you sit in the same seat. But there are a lot of different experiences you might have. Josh was asking us about, like, the standing room. You might go to a game and have standing room. You might go to a game and watch it over here, watch it over there. There's going to be a lot of different experiences in the new Highmark in a way that they maybe aren't in the current one.
No, that's right. And concerts too, right? I mean, this is going to be well set up for other events, not just football, obviously. But, that's the main thing that people will be going for and watching is Buffalo Bills football. And you're right about that, Jeremy. If you stand in the would that be the north end zone, and you're in the area there where you have the long standing room with the bar. You'll be able to kind of go get food, drinks, meet with people, and turn around and watch the game. That's great. When you go to a baseball game, I think most stadiums you go to now in baseball, when you go to the concessions, you can walk the entire circumference of the stadium and watch the game. Mm-hmm. Maybe when you get to the outfield in some certain spots you can't. But kind of that's what this is, right? So if you are at one 10-yard line and you want to walk all the way over to the other 10-yard line, you're walking through like around the end zone, you can just keep watching the game. It's going to be right there on your left or on your right as you walk. And the concessions are it's not like the current stadium where you have to walk down a tunnel, you're at the concessions, you don't see the game going on during that time. That's a pretty cool deal. I know my wife and son they went to SoFi for the Bills game against the Rams. And one of the things at SoFi we learned when they were there was when you have a ticket on one level, you can't go on another level. Now, I would say SoFi is pretty unique like that. Most stadiums you can. But here, it's so easy, the access for what we were talking about with John Polka and Todd and everybody, the people who give us the tour, they were amazing. And I asked specifically, like, okay, if you have a ticket, like Jeremy's up on the third level, can he come down and hang out with people down here? Absolutely. Yeah. Super easy to do that. You can do that, and then you go back and, by the way, on your way back, you can watch the game, which is really cool.
I remember that exact scenario happening to me at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago for the White Sox. Mm-hmm. I had a ticket to the upper deck, and here I just want to see a stadium. I'm on a baseball stadium journey to see as many as I can. And I tried to walk around the main concourse, and they're like, oh, you can't walk down here. And I was able to hold a really solid grudge against the White Sox for a good 10 years. A blood feud. And now that you've reminded me of it.
Was it like a packed house even?
No, it was just a July Chicago White Sox game. Now that I remember that, Sal, I'm renewing my feud with the Chicago White Sox. So thank you for reminding me.
Well, I will tell you, I went to that stadium, White Sox, the newer one, right? That you're not talking old Comiskey, right?
No, the new one, yeah.
I went to that stadium maybe last year or 2 years ago when the Bills were playing a preseason game. Just me. I went and I had a night. And I was there. And I got a ticket, and I had a really nice ticket down low behind the dugout. And I said, I want to go walk this stadium. And I will tell you, I had no problem. So maybe they changed the rules. Because I walked that whole stadium, went all the way up top, took pictures. They had a really nice view of the skyline. By the way, that's cool too, right?
Yeah.
There was a spot where we were standing yesterday, and you could see, like, all of Western New York, it seemed like. You see downtown. It was just really, really cool.
Yeah. One thing I'm also eager to see in practice, Sal, the security gates and the ticketing gates being separate by a lot. So the potential entry into the stadium could be a lot smoother. So it's going to be just a very different experience. All right, so yesterday, from the future to the past, coming back, Jordan Poyer back with the Buffalo Bills on the practice squad, a guy that, of course, knows the system. Take us through the day yesterday down at One Bills Drive. When we got you on, it was a bit of a surprise to a lot of people. You and Matt Beauvais kind of, you mentioned you took a question on the podcast, It's Always Game Day in Buffalo, and you both kind of said, nah, they're not going to bring back Poyer. And here we are. We're all kind of surprised that it happened. So the pluses, the minuses, if you see one or two, take us through it.
Yeah. By the way, good transition from the future to the past right there. I like that.
Thank you.
With the guys coming back. I was really surprised about Jordan Poyer coming back, but listening to him and understanding, he didn't know if he wanted to play football, but this was the right opportunity for him, and he felt that he could help this organization. And that's why he's back here and doing that. And, who knows down the road? Is Jordan Poyer going to play in the 53-man roster? Well, sure, he's a practice squad player, and if you need him, you can do that. In the meantime, I really like what Brandon Beane said about, these guys and how they can help. Thad Brown asked a really good question to Brandon Beane yesterday. And I think there's a good perspective for people to try to put in here, which is when you're talking, right now you have pretty much 70 guys on a roster. 53 on your active, 17 in your practice squad with an international player. So let's just rank them, right? When you get down to spots 65 through 70, it's the last 5 guys on any NFL roster. Thad asked, Brandon, how you think about that when you talk about young guys developing versus veterans who can, be a part of your organization. And Brandon said that's a real thing, right? You have to decide, are those last 5 guys, let's just say, on your roster, are those guys that you say, that guy's we like him, his skill set, he's not ready to play in this league, but he's a project. It's a lottery ticket, pretty much, right? And you could justify that. Or you could say, this is a guy that's been in this league. He understands everything we do. And we got some young guys who got to play. and he's going to help us. He's going to help us prepare every week. And right now, that's important for the Bills. The Bills aren't rebuilding, right? The Bills aren't a team that's looking to, win 3 years from now, to develop those guys. The Bills are a team now that has guys, they have some young guys that got to play and mix in with a team that's trying to win a Super Bowl. So a guy like Jordan Poyer, a guy like Jordan Phillips, they can come in here, and what they do for the team is, well, the way he described it, it's a great way to put it. It's not just like on the field. He's not a coach, right? Yeah, you want him to be a mentor, but how you prepare in a meeting room, questions you're asking, maybe something comes up that he's seen that other people in the room haven't seen. You're preparing for the Baltimore Ravens. Jordan Poyer can look at Cole Bishop and everybody in that room and go, hey, you remember 2 years ago when they did this with Lamar? Oh, yeah, let's go back and take a look at that. Like, these are things that he can help with. And that's why you bring people back into your organization like that a lot of times. And I'll tell you, I think the Bills do it far more than anybody. And there's definitely room to say, that's too much. They do this too often. They go to the well too often. I get it. But I also understand the perspective of why you would do something like that. And the Bills aren't bringing people back into this organization who they don't feel are culture fits and are here for the right reasons, are going to be selfless. That was a word used by Brandon Beane yesterday. I like that. And understand that they're here for a higher purpose of the team and to help, try to push everybody, even further to get to their ultimate goal. Now, that being said, yesterday at practice, no Tre'Davious White, no Christian Benford. We did not see Tre'Davious White. I did see him in the field house talking with people walking around after practice, but he was never out on the practice field in any capacity. Christian Benford was, but he was on the exercise bike with Cedric Van Pran-Granger, with Tylon Grable, and he was doing, some work with trainers off to the side. No Curtis Samuel at practice yesterday, which is still concerning. Yep. He was sick, remember, missed the game on Saturday. And then, Khalil Shakir was back. He said he's feeling good. I did ask him specifically, hey, what do you think about tracking for week one? And he just, he didn't want to go there. He's just like, hey, I'm just working every day to get better and feeling better every day.
One more quick thing on Poyer before we get to the injuries. I want to follow up there. Last year, this was Micah Hyde. This is very different, though. I mean, if nothing else, Sal, it's different from the player because I don't think Hyde ever expected to play, and I think Poyer expects to play.
Yeah, I don't know if he expects to, but I would say this.
He thinks he can?
The biggest difference, Jeremy, is the timing, and that's where the play might come in, right? So Hyde comes in really late in the year. Even if the Bills looked at Micah Hyde 3 weeks later and said, hey, we might need you here. I don't know if that would be possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jordan Poyer is here now. If you get to the middle of the season, you get to November, and you're like, we got some injuries, Jordan. We need you for a game or two. I think that's a different scenario than last year. Now, Jordan Poyer has not been the same player the last couple of years. You watch him play on the field, I think he's definitely, not the same. He's lost a step. He's not the same guy that he was when he's an all-pro, like from years ago. But you need a guy in a pinch that understands what to do. Coaches can put him in a position to make sure he's not in that position to cost you in any capacity. And he can go out there and play. And he's been ramping up. And his body's fresh because he hasn't been playing 10, 11 games. Then I do think that's a different scenario than Micah last year.
Yeah. You still think, though, it would be because of injuries if that were to happen, right? Like, can you foresee a scenario where Cole Bishop is healthy and it's just going so poorly that they would turn right to Poyer, or maybe even they would turn to somebody else first?
It's a great question. I don't know, Joe. Could I see that scenario? Sure. If it's going really poorly, you have a guy there. That's why he's there. He's on your practice squad. You can bring him up. But I do think you have to think about his age, what he means to you. What does that look like? Is that for the rest of the year? That might be in a pinch. So in that scenario, I would think we could use him in a pinch. We could use him in a game. But we got to find somebody better who's, on a daily and weekly basis.
Yeah. Sal, as you mentioned, Tre'Davious White, Khalil Shakir, and Curtis Samuel, just three names here. Christian Benford as well. Are we still basically in the last throes of load management, being careful? Was it Beane who said next Wednesday is when we kind of get – that's when injury designations come out, right?
Yes.
So is this the last few days of still preseason? Next week is when you practice to play.
Yeah, and he said that for that reason, Jeremy, which is basically it's Brandon Beane telling you, we don't have to tell you anything right now on Tre'Davious White, but we got to tell you next Wednesday, right? That's when the injury designations come out officially. So, they'll yes, I think to answer your question, they'll still slow play as much as possible. Let's remember, it still is a 17-game season, 18 weeks. You have veterans who, like Khalil Shakir, and I would say Tre'Davious White in this case, if you give them an extra day or two they need, you're coming back in, you're going to be okay because you know everything you're supposed to do, right? And you're not going to rush anybody anyway, but especially in cases like that where you know those guys are going to prepare and do everything they can to get on the field and be ready, and then when they are on the field and they're ready, mentally they're also kind of engaged. That was a question about Khalil yesterday, which is chemistry with Josh, and Brandon's like, yeah, I don't worry about that whatsoever. Like he knows and Josh knows how to play with each other. Next Wednesday is the first day of official injury designations, the first day of practice participation designations, and that's why Brandon Beane mentioned it. You'll get he said, so just to clarify what Brandon Beane said or didn't say on Tre'Davious White, he didn't clarify exactly what the injury is. He did not get into specific timelines on him. He said, we'll see, hopeful or whatever, about week 1. He said specifically, he was asked, you're not ruling him out for week 1. He said, I am not ruling him out for week 1. Meaning like, hey, by the time we get to next week, who knows where Sean McDermott is by the end of next week, but he's not going to do that right now. And that's encouraging, obviously. So yeah, next Wednesday's a big day when it comes to that. And the other guys too that you mentioned, and Curtis Samuel, we'll see where that goes. I think for the rest of this week, there's no media today. So we're not out there watching practice today to see, who's out there, who's not out there. By next week, we'll get a much better feel as they ramp up towards the Ravens.
The Shakir injury, Sal, him back at practice and still having over a week until the Ravens game. Is it going to be tough to tell, you think, before that game what level of health he's going to have? He played through it right last year in the Baltimore game, and then he misses a little bit of time. Or would you think that, given that it's this far out, that him being full go, it's a good sign for him?
It's a good sign, I think, if that he's out there now, Joe. I mean, it's a week and a half, that you have until then. But it's still something he's got to deal with here for another week or so. I would think, given everything I just said about how they feel about Khalil Shakir, the fact that they would not rush him, they're not going to. They know that he can come in and he knows the offense and his chemistry is fine. So, giving him an extra day or two would be fine with them. But the fact that he's on the field already on a Wednesday, I think is really encouraging.
Sal Capaccio on the Western Hotline. Sal, we're waiting for the Rivalries uniforms later today. You know a lot of people. Sal, anybody show you those yet?
No, I've heard things, but not things that I, want even to share or feel comfortable sharing because I have no idea what's right or wrong, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put anything out that I've heard or not heard or whatever because everybody thinks they know something.
Yeah.
I've heard some things, but I'm just waiting like everybody else to see, what they look like. You guys, so everybody knows, you'll join me. You'll be there in studio.
Yeah, we're going to hang around.
At 10 o'clock because that's when it drops. I want your live reactions during the Extra Point Show.
I'd love to give live reactions. At least they told us they're coming out at 10 a.m. instead of us sitting here waiting for 4 hours saying, was it going to be now?
Yeah.
Only to see them come at 10 a.m. So, yeah.
You don't like the Dolphins ones, right?
I think it looks like a Thursday night Jacksonville uniform. I thought that'd be a little bit more... whatever, bonkers, off the wall. And I'm not trying to say it would be crazy, but it just looks like the Dolphins could have just announced a black jersey and said, like, okay, there it is. If, in fact, that's the Dolphins jerseys, I am underwhelmed. But I don't expect to be blown away by all 8 of them. The AFC East and the NFC West will announce them today. And these are uniforms they're going to wear for 3 years, like at least once a year for 3 years. The Bills will wear theirs against New England in Week 5 in the Sunday night game. So we'll see. And
do we know, by the way, New England, would they be wearing theirs also?
No, because I think you're only wearing them at home is the idea.
Right. So I'm guessing, I don't know this, are the Dolphins wearing theirs on a night game against the Jets Week 4?
Correct.
Yes.
I did look that up because I wondered if they would wear – they're not going to wear black in the Miami sun, right? That's not something they ever want to do. So, yes, they'll wear them in a night game. And I think Miami Knights is something that we had heard might be their kind of like connection. So black with, neon kind of colors, like that's what they went with. So, if in fact that's right.
So they're going to wear theirs on Monday night against the Jets Week 4. Then the Bills are going to wear theirs on Sunday night Week 5 against the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when would the Patriots wear theirs? I don't know.
The Patriots are going to wear theirs against the Jets in a Thursday night game, November 13th. So you wear them against
the Jets wearing.
That means the Patriots are probably wearing theirs against the Bills, right? Because the Jets are wearing.
You mean the Jets are?
Yeah.
That would have to be Week 2 then.
The Jets are wearing their December 7th Gotham City football uniform.
That is not then. The Jets, December 7th, they're playing the Dolphins. Oh, so you're going to get Dolphins wearing theirs in their home game. Jets wearing theirs in their home game, and then I guess the same thing with the Patriots. Patriots are wearing them against the Bills, you said?
No, the Patriots, it looks like they're wearing them against the Jets.
Wow.
Interesting.
Everybody's wearing it in one of their home games, and it's going to be, so I guess the Bills don't see a road rivalry uniform.
But they will see the road Falcons?
The Falcons are wearing the red helmets and black jerseys. Yeah. And the Bills in that game are wearing their white helmets, throwback helmets.
Standing Buffalo.
And the Bills are wearing their whites, their throwbacks against the Buccaneers. But from my understanding, the Bucs are not wearing their creamsicles that day.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Sal, we got time for a call here. Mario in Jacksonville's called in, so hang out with us for a minute. Hey, Mario, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so there's some rumors going around the past couple of days, and actually ESPN just did a segment on First Take about Micah Parsons. I guess the dispute between him and the ownership has gotten too far that the trade might be actually possible, and they're floating the Bills around. There's a Yahoo Sports article going around that the Bills might have been acquiring some veteran players like Jordan Phillips to put together a package with draft picks and potentially Ed Oliver and maybe Rousseau to send over to Dallas because they want to try to make a play at Parsons. I wanted to get your guys' take on it. I have a suggestion for a package they might be interested in, but I wanted to know if Sal's still on the line there too, if you guys have heard anything about
why don't you just give us your suggestion, and then we'll get to all of it.
Yeah. Well, since we have celebrities now from Hard Knocks, I think we bring Hamler back and Charlo, and maybe we try to trade them to Dallas because that would be a nice little star-studded cast for them, and then maybe they give us Parsons for those two.
Yeah.
I could tell. I think you're being sarcastic because Jerry Jones loves the loves the star-studded cast right there. Look, I have not heard anything specifically about that. I think that I think a lot of the things that you read and hear are really mainly people's opinions. I have not seen anyone from any outlet report that the Bills were actively pursuing or in on some sort of. Now, I'm not saying it's not out there. I have not seen it. I think what happens, though, is the way clicky headlines are, though, guys, right? Like Bills, analyst says Bills inquire Micah Parsons, and that's some person's opinion, right? Oh, this is what they should do. So I think a lot of people feel that. My issue and question has always been, how do you fit it in? It's just. That's a huge salary on top of you're already against the cap. I don't know.
His cap is like $24 million. So the
Bills have to redo the contract anyway.
Yeah,
and you could probably lower his cap hit by redoing the contract, but it's still going to be a lot.
You can't trade for him until you have $24 million in cap room, right? Like you'd have to offset that. The one thing I would say about the clickbaity headlines and all that is, if there's a pass rusher rumored to be moving, I think the Bills will be in on that rumor every time, because it's the thing that they've been chasing all the way back to Vaughn, to signing Bosa, to Beane saying Myles Garrett without saying Myles Garrett would be the guy he would add. He told Bussin' with the boys, if you could add any player from the league, who would it be? His answer was Myles Garrett. So I think anytime a premier pass rusher is going to be mentioned as moving, we should prepare ourselves for the Bills to be mentioned as a potential destination.
I found the article. Thank you. Is it Mario who gave a call?
Yeah. Yep, Mario.
Okay, Mario, thank you. The Yahoo article, this is what it says. Former NFL GM Mike Tannenbaum listed 3 potential trade scenarios for the Cowboys if they were to eventually give up Parsons. The first is the Bills. Dallas would land Ed Oliver and 2 first-round picks. So what that is, again, is an NFL former GM on TV saying, hey, here's some ideas. That's what that is.
Fair enough. My favorite.
Shouldn't that person know how the cap works and knows that can't happen more than anybody? What are we doing?
My favorite thing to do, though, with a trade like that is, if you think like, wow, that's a pretty big package. Where will the Bills' first-round picks be in the next 2 years? Just
29 or later.
Conservatively, 29th, okay,
or later.
Okay. You know what 2 29th picks is worth on the trade value chart? Just like the
8th pick.
Yeah. Well, not even that. 2 29th picks is worth like the 13th or 12th pick. So would you trade out at Oliver in 12?
Right.
I like to do that because sometimes I think the sheer number of first-round picks, the value of the 10th pick and the 30th pick is like an additional 2 firsts apart. So
the Giants first is worth more than 2 Bills first.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Sal, we'll talk at 10 o'clock and we'll scream about uniforms.
You got it, guys. Thanks.
All right, Sal Capaccio on the Western Hotline. When we return, Cody Alexander, we're going to talk a little ball. He has the Talk Ball podcast. Had a listener send me Cody's information and a podcast he was on talking about Cole Bishop and the safeties and said, you should get this guy on. So I did. I reached out, and Cody Alexander, he's in Dallas. He's going to be talking to us coming up next about this safety room, Cole Bishop, Jordan Poyer jumping back in as well on the practice squad. So stay tuned for that. Don't miss it. And a view of what the Bills want to do, what they can do, and what's happening at safety. That's next.
Well, we're real excited about this, right? It's the first New York State officially sanctioned survivor pool. It's $50 to get an entry in. You just come down to one of our 3 properties, and see one of our managers, and we'll be happy to sign you up, get you entered. If you're ready to make your pick, we'll take your pick right there and then. We're guaranteeing a minimum of $5,000. Every entry that comes in goes into the pot. So if we get more than 5,000, obviously it's going to rise. So we're really excited about it.
All right.
And you can also rebuy after week 1 if you lost week 1. You can rebuy your pick and stay in. So it's really exciting.
Do you have a favorite? You've been looking at the week 1 survivors. Yeah, there may be a couple good options.
I seen 2 that I really like. One, I like Denver.
Yep.
And the other one, they're an underdog, but I like Chicago over Minnesota.
Okay, that's one I bet not a lot of people will be in on too, which sometimes that could be a good strategy in a survivor pool. So again, go down to one of the 3 properties. Pot gets bigger the more people that come in. What about for final season at Highmark Stadium?
We have a great promotion coming on starting October 1st. You come on in, you earn some. As you earn points, you'll earn entries into the drawings, which will take place on December 5th. And you can win either $1,000 cash with a $200 store gift card at the Bills store, or you're going to win 4 suite level tickets and 4 Buffalo Bills jerseys. And you're going to go to the last game at the Ralph at the regular season game.
All right. Looking at NFL futures at the Sportsbook, Bills the biggest division favorite in the league. What do you like from their vantage point and elsewhere in the NFL as we're a week from tonight is the opener?
Yeah, a week from tonight, right? You get Philadelphia, the Super Bowl champions. I believe they win their division again. Obviously, 100% with the Bills. Allen stays healthy. There's no stopping us. With the other divisions, some of them are a toss-up. Some of them I really like. Kansas City should win theirs again. Baltimore, I think, is going to have a little challenge with Pittsburgh. People sleep on Aaron Rodgers. He still had a good year last year. Just didn't work out for him in New York. With the NFC, it's tough to go against Detroit, so you have to go with Detroit again.
Yep.
I think my underdog pick in the NFC is going to be Atlanta, believe it or not. I think they could pull through.
All right, Atlanta plus 225 to win the NFC South. So
yeah. So, yeah, you got a lot of good options, depending on which way you want to go.
All right, head down to the casino, get Atlanta on the NFC South, or maybe like the Bills at minus 286 for the AFC East. Get in the survivor pool and try to get in for one more game at Highmark Stadium. Billy Odell from Seneca Creek and Casino. Thanks again, Billy.
Oh, no problem, Joe. I appreciate having me on.
again, I've said before, fully confident in Cole. It's the reps that he needs to create these calluses that you get when you're young and trying to grow in a position, and being out there is how you get that experience.
Bills head coach Sean McDermott on Cole Bishop. All right, our next guest, Cody Alexander, joining us on the Wester Hotline of MatchQuarters.com, host of Let's Talk Ball, the Talk Ball podcast. And Cody, I was telling the story of how I came to find you, your Substack as well. I had a listener send me a podcast you were on talking about Cole Bishop and the Bills' defensive situation and said, this guy had some interesting takes. You should get him on. So I reached out, and here we are. Jeremy and Joe, Cody, thanks for taking some time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
So talk to us about this Bills defense. Yesterday, the Bills brought back Jordan Poyer, who'd been in this defense for quite some time. We're kind of waiting on Cole Bishop, a second-round pick, to see if he's going to kind of get what he needs to get to help take this defense to the next level. It's a defense going through a lot of changes, and I want to start on Bishop and the secondary and what you see from the group and what has to happen for Bishop here in year 2 for him.
Yeah, first there was a transition last year really from majority to high, meaning that we're playing a lot of cover 2, and that has kind of been a staple of this unit. Really, McDermott going back to Rivera, going back to Jim Johnson, it's pretty similar to similar in the sense of the tree from where Spagnuolo comes from. So they had to transition last year from about a 60-40 mix of, middle of the field open, essentially playing cover 2 quarters, to a lot more cover 3. And I think it had to do with a lot of, we need to add numbers in the box to stop the run. We have linebacker depth that's an issue because of injuries. We're having issues with some of our safeties in terms of just coverage from depth. And you really saw that, and that's one of those reasons why you saw that transition. Speaking on Cole Bishop, this is a player that came from a cover 3 dominant system at Utah, and so I think it was more of a comfortability thing. He didn't play very well in the slot last year, so there needs to be a transition, and I see that from what he says a lot of times about talking about Coach McDermott about Cole Bishop, about he needs to get those reps, because right now that's kind of where he's lacking in terms of being able to play everything within that defense.
Cody, one thing I forget where I read this the very first time, and I think it's a common thought in the NFL. There's what you want to do, and there's what you can do, right? And that's like my next question. You mentioned where McDermott came from. We've seen some changes over the years and evolution of the game. Do you think that what you've seen from their switch to more of a cover 3 is something that they want to do, or something that they've kind of had to do?
That's definitely something they've had to do. That's not something that they want to do. They really are in a cluster of teams that has run primarily what we would call a middle of the field open defense, meaning that they're running cover 2, they're running quarters. A majority, really more than anybody else in the NFL, they're part of that little cluster. That's what they want to do. That's where this defense stems from. They want to play a 4 down. They want to play nickel with Taron Johnson on the field, and they want to be able to play cover 2 and quarters. I think last year, with the issues up front that they were having, primarily, especially at linebacker with Milano and Bernard getting hurt, you have to add numbers in the box. How do you fix the run when you play such light boxes? You have to add numbers, and I think that's what they were trying to do last year.
So that said, the overhaul they've had on the defensive front, they've added a bunch of pieces, TJ Sanders, Deion Walker in the draft, Landon Jackson as well on the edge, Joey Bosa, Michael Hoyt, Larry Ogunjobi. Do you feel like what they're trying to accomplish with that overhaul will allow them to do the things they want to do in the back end?
Right. You kind of say that. Look at all of the front pieces that were added. I think that the really interesting one, and it's too bad he's not going to be able to start the year, is Hoyt. What that tells me is a dynamic guy like that can move around and can drop and do some things, that they're trying to evolve this scheme from being so static 4 down, where you kind of we know we don't blitz a lot. We will blitz the corner every once in a while. We won't blitz a lot, and we won't, drop defensive linemen into coverage. I think you're seeing more or less they're trying to evolve that scheme in that direction and basically loading up on interior defensive linemen and a guy like Joey Bosa, where at his point in his career is really better stopping the run than he is necessarily, he's not going to get 20 sacks. So that, to me, is showing that they're trying to clean up a lot of that front end so they don't necessarily have to play a ton of cover 3 in 2025.
We spend so much time on Bishop and safety as they don't have Poyer and Hyde anymore playing at an elite level, Cody. What about Taylor Rapp next to him? Like, we don't talk about him as much because of the other spot, but how much of a gap do you see from him and what they're trying to do compared to what they would have had with, again, Poyer and Hyde at their best?
I think Rapp doesn't get enough credit for being Rapp is actually a pretty good safety. He would be a starter on most NFL teams. It's just you have that, he's going to miss 2 or 3 games every year, and so you're kind of always in a bind, and so you never really get to see a full picture. I think he does really good when he plays deep safety, and then, he meshes well with a guy like DeMar Hamlin or Cole Bishop that you can put them down in the box and kind of simplify some things. So he's a good coverage safety, and I think that he's exactly what they want. It's just, he's going to miss a couple of games, which then kind of creates issues down the road.
Cody Alexander joining us on the Western Hotline of the Talkball podcast and the MatchQuarters.com Substack. Looking at the defense overall, we're looking for them to kind of get back to where they were. I've always felt like McDermott knows how to coach defense. And last couple seasons, whether it's injuries or turning over the roster and age, should Bills fans, do you think, expect them to kind of start to climb their way back to where they're used to seeing their Bills?
I think if they can fix the front issues that they have, where you're not so reliant on the 4 guys that are out there, that you create a healthy rotation, and that will help. I am a little concerned with the corner. Tre'Davious White has been good, but he was good like 4 years ago. There's really not anybody behind him. Having Maxwell Hairston, who I thought was a perfect fit, zone corner, long, exactly what they want in corner, would have been really nice to start opposite Christian Benford, who, by the way, is starting to become a name around the league as somebody outside of Buffalo, as somebody like, oh, hey, this guy needs to start being in the conversation of top 10 corners. So I think that this is a defense, if everything stays relatively healthy. I think last year it just was like one thing after another. They couldn't really get started. This is a defense that, again, should be a top 10 defense in the NFL if everything stays healthy and everybody kind of performs at what we know that they can.
And then it might all end up in a Chiefs playoff game, which I don't know how much you went play-by-play in that AFC Championship, Cody, but it seemed like the Bills ran a lot more man coverage against the Chiefs in that game, and how much that might differ from previous playoff matchups. Do you have an opinion on, like, if they get to that spot again, what defensively might be their best move? I mean, the Chiefs, they run through a lot of teams in the playoffs, but they average more points against the Bills than anybody. They really haven't gotten their way at all. And what maybe their best avenue would be to stopping them?
Which the irony here is that their defense is built to really perform well against the Chiefs and the Bengals. The problem with the Chiefs is that they can find the one weak link and then they'll just hammer it. And if it's one of those guys in the intermediate, then they're going to be able to take advantage of that. So last year with a lot of the injuries, just the way that they were trying to play a lot of cover 3, all those crossing routes that they love to run are all going to be open. Because that's the one thing, like, how do you defeat cover 3? You run these intermediate crossing routes. Well, that's also one of the ways that you can defeat man zone. In fact, but it was a little interesting. Buffalo was 29th last year in man coverage percentage. So you're looking at a team that was trying to figure something out and try and maybe throw a curveball. And a lot of teams do this. It's almost like if you're a football coach, you've ever had to then flip and then you got to now defend the flex bone or triple option. And like all you've been seeing is like Y off at basic NCAA offense. And then you have to go play the Chiefs. They're kind of like that because they're really a designer defense or offense. So you have to almost play a designer defense, and sometimes that can hurt you with the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, we've seen it a few times. We're waiting for either the offense to get 4 more or the defense to give up 4 less because it's the close games, and it's a great life being a Bills fan right now, Cody, but it's also frustrating by the end of it.
Yeah.
So we're trying not to go crazy over here. Cody, thanks for the time. Pleasure to have. Would love to have you on again. Thanks again.
Anytime. Thank you, guys.
All right, matchquarters.com, his Substack. You can follow him on Twitter at @the_coach_A, the Coach A, Cody Alexander of the Talk Ball podcast as well.
I understood what he was talking about with Flexbone because I've been playing a lot of NCAA video game football.
You're rocking the Flexbone?
No, but it took me 3 games to figure out how to defend it.
Okay.
It's very gimmicky, and it took. I was losing my mind at how to stop it, but I figured it out eventually. Yeah,
I think I've read that there's going to be a lot of pistol in the NFL this year.
Yeah?
Yeah. A lot of pistol. We'll see.
Because of what? Like preseason?
I don't know, just like this might be a year where you just see an uptick in the pistol formation.
Okay.
So, anyway. Shotgun with the
Will
running
Mel
back
Kiper call to ban it in week 3 when scoring is up?
Yeah. 803-0550 to join us if you'd like. Coming up at 9 o'clock, Christopher Carter on the Steelers. We do 14 teams in 14 days. We'll check in on Pittsburgh, see how things are going in Pittsburgh. Take your calls. I got a story about a spider, apparently, I got to share with you. I'm going to tell you about that. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a new house guest. Apparently.
This isn't the one that eats birds or whatever?
No, it's not the one. No.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
A spider that eats birds? I don't know about that one.
Isn't there a spider that eats birds?
A spider that eats birds. Yes. It's known as the Goliath bird eater. Good name.
Real creative on that.
The Goliath bird eater.
What should we name this giant spider that is known to eat birds? How about the Goliath bird eater?
How long do they live? Here's your fun fact of the day. Stat of the day.
4,000 years.
They can live up to 25
Jeez.
Imagine a spider.
A 20-year-old spider.
This is
He's been doing it since 06.
This is Jasmine. She's 24.
He's been doing it since 03.
Eating birds.
Eating birds since 03, yeah.
Look at what we're learning today. We learned about Goliath bird eaters and how the world record for how far an egg has been thrown.
This is not the spider, though, that you're going to talk about.
No, if it is, I'm not going home. No. There's a bird eater on our porch. I'm not going home. All right, Jeremy and Joe on WGR. Jeremy White here for FanDuel Sportsbook, official partner of WGR. College football season. What a big weekend we got of that coming up. Huge matchups. Number 9 versus number 4. Number 1 versus number 3. Texas, Ohio State. Number 9 LSU and number 4 Clemson. Like big games. Anyway, FanDuel's giving you a reason to lock in at the college football season early. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's right. Bet $5, and if you win, you walk away with $300 in bonus bets to use all over the app. You can use the bonus bets on Week 1 lines, Heisman futures, over-unders, player props, whatever you've got circled on your college football calendar. It's easy to use, safe, and when you win, you get paid instantly. So Two things to tell you about. One, you can. Oh, you know what? We're going to have a David Dombrowski who's putting this tournament on, I think, tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There's a tournament coming up, a golf tournament you can get involved with. That's right. It's the Back Tee Classic, the first inaugural Back Tee Golf Classic. Monday, September 29th at Gowanda Country Club. Day full of golf, community, and giving back. Car giveaway on a par 3. $10,000 cash prize putting contests, raffles, silent auctions, and more. All proceeds go to the Spine and Bifida Clinic at Oshai Children's Hospital. Spots limited. I think they're down to like 10 spots. So register now for the Back Tee Golf Classic at backteegolfclassic.com. Let's help and make a difference. Gowanda Country Club, September 29th. If you've not played Gowanda, it's a great course. Yeah. And in the fall, woo, we're playing. Yes. We're playing to win.
Oh, we're going to win.
We're trying to win. So the Back Tee
if I can hit a driver.
Golf Classic. Yeah, you and me both. Also, time for the pick of the week, which is brought to you by Riverfront Auto Sales. Pick of the week is going to be, which college football game do you want? Texas, Ohio State at noon on Saturday.
Tough to beat. I do like having a Sunday night college football game. Notre Dame and Miami.
Not bad.
2 top 10 teams. First time in 8 years that in any week you have 3 top 10 matchups. And I think it's the first time it's ever happened in week 1.
LSU Clemson, number 9 against number 4.
Yep.
Pick of the week brought to you by Riverfront Auto Sales. Their pick of the week is a 2016 Ford Super Duty F-250 SRW 4-wheel drive super cab. Get behind the wheel of raw power and reliability. With built to tow, haul, conquer any terrain, this beast is ready to work and impress. Hurry to Riverfront Auto Sales today. 1379 Niagara Street. Online at riverfrontautosales.com. Questions? Call 886-1626. My pick of the week's Texas, Ohio State. I'm picking Ohio State to win that game. Arch Manning, lot of hype.
It is like...
What a test it is.
This is the most anticipated football debut, like, ever. Like, no one's ever seen this kid play, basically. And he's going into Ohio State for his first game.
Yeah.
Ranked number 1.
He played a little last year.
Against what? Elon?
Yeah, he got 90 attempts.
Against Jacksonville State.
Played against...
Who'd he play against? Lafayette?
You know, he went 3 of 6 against Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, Arch Manning as the starter. No, he threw 31 passes against Mississippi State. 26 of 31, 2 touchdowns, 325. 9 of 12 against Texas San Antonio.
It's pretty good.
4 touchdowns on 9 throws. Yeah, he played last year.
Just saying. Never. I got a Manning take for.
Well, he hasn't played a really good team yet, I guess is what you might say. All right, so he's at Ohio State. Yeah, it's a big test. Jeremy and Joe checking in on the Steelers, and we got to process waivers in our former future Bill draft now that Joe has won. So we'll get back to it. 803-0550 on WGR.
Bills GM Brandon Beane meeting with the media yesterday and said that Tre'Davious White could be back by week 1. He has not returned to practice yet, but said that that's a possibility even by next Wednesday, which will be their first injury report of the week. Also spoke about Jordan Poyer. You can check out Beane's comments in full at WGR550.com. Christian Benford was absent from practice. That injury is not expected to keep him out long, or the Ravens game next week especially. Khalil Shakir was on the field, first time since August 1st, but he did get a practice in. Sal's got all the details on our website. Tonight is the UB Bulls season opener in football against Minnesota. 8 o'clock tonight. That game will be on FS1, and you can listen to it on our sister station, the Bet 1520. The Bulls are 17-point underdogs going into tonight's game. Other college games, number 25 Boise State is at USF at 5:30. Nebraska is at Cincinnati. There's a lot of other games. Those two are on ESPN. In the Ryder Cup, Captain Keegan Bradley did not pick himself for Team USA. He opted for Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Patrick Cantlay, Cam Young, Sam Burns, and Ben Griffin to go along with the automatic qualifiers that included Scotty Scheffler and others. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet, celebrating 90 years of being your hometown dealership. Sports Talk on WGR, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Hey, everybody, good morning. 1 hour away from the rivalries jerseys being revealed. We have a Dolphins leak. We've seen their black jerseys, which might represent Miami Knights. So a Bills uniform set in an hour. We'll see what it looks like, though. We're at Week 5 against the New England Patriots in a Sunday night game. Checking in now with 14 teams in 14 days as we prepare for the season. We're going to go to Pittsburgh and chat with Christopher Carter, host of Locked On Steelers, for a little look at the Steelers season. The Bills will go to Pittsburgh this year and play the Steelers. Good morning, Christopher. Jeremy and Joe, thanks for taking some time today.
What's up, guys? Great to be on with you guys again.
1 week away from the season. We're excited, you know. I mean, the Bills are hoping to take one more step, maybe two more steps. For Pittsburgh, what is it this year? It's Aaron Rodgers. It didn't go well in New York. We saw that firsthand here in Buffalo. What is the ceiling? What is it for Pittsburgh this year?
I think the Steelers are looking at potentially having an 11-win season if all things go right. And hoping, I don't think they win the division this year, but I do think that they can get themselves in a better wild card position where maybe they can get the 5th seed and play the lowest division winner of the AFC, and that would give them a chance to actually compete in the playoffs rather than getting blown out by the Ravens, the Bills, or the Chiefs as they have been the last 3 times they've been in the playoffs.
How likely do you think they are to achieve that? Not just to make it, but to win one of those games, and it could be very different, right, based on their opponent. I mean, depends on the division. If they are the 5 seed and you get an AFC South winner, it's very different than coming to Buffalo or Kansas City. So I guess for you, does it need that, or could you even see them knocking off a big team like that if things go well with Aaron Rodgers?
See, to me, it's less even about Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is the problems with Aaron Rodgers with the Jets was that they brought him in to be the guy, to be the only thing that was going to save them in that with their franchise. They paid him $40+ million. They handed him the keys. He was able to pick his coordinators, his teammates, all those factors. Right? The Steelers have done none of that. None of his coaches are with the Steelers. You look at the players they've added. Now they wanted to add Marquez Valdes-Scantling. That didn't work through the waiver wire. But I think that what they've done is they said, "Hey, Aaron, just come and be part of something that you can just be a good player and be an efficient quarterback. What's really going to determine the Steelers' success this year are two things: how good their defense can be with the changes that they've made, and how well their offensive line develops. Because that's where all their picks have been the past few years. You look at Broderick Jones in the first round, Troy Fautano in the first round, Zach Frazier in the second round. They've really invested in this group being better, and they've looked better in the preseason. Now they just need to show it during the year. But if they achieve those things, then I think Aaron Rodgers, all he has to do is just be an efficient quarterback. He doesn't have to be a high-volume passer. All he has to do is just kind of, hey, let's keep the interception rate down. Let's take advantage of when we see opportunities in other teams' defenses. And if he does those factors, I think that the Steelers can get to 11 wins. But again, they got to stay healthy. Jalen Ramsey, I think, plays a big factor in this and how he plays this year. But there's a lot of things. But I think that Aaron Rodgers, he's happy to be somewhere where he doesn't have to be the commander-in-chief, if you will.
14 teams, 14 days, brought to you by Northtown Automotive. Get a Northtown Engine Shield Protection Warranty on new and used vehicles. Christopher, have there been rumblings of another move coming for the Steelers? I feel like the Steelers writers that I follow have indicated that they expect something still to come.
So here's the thing. Omar Khan is looking to make a move somewhere. He wants to add a wide receiver, maybe find some offensive line depth. But they are not, like a lot of people try to say the Steelers are all in this year. The Steelers are not all in. If they were all in, they would have traded up draft picks for this year already to make some of the moves they have. They wouldn't have given up George Pickens. They wouldn't have given up Minkah Fitzpatrick. They would have said, hey, here's our second or third or first round picks for the trades that they have made for DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey and such. But instead, the Steelers, what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to make themselves a little bit more better for right now while still keeping the window open for the future, because their ultimate plan is to draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft class. They really like this class with Cade Klubnik, with Lenore Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier. I doubt Arch Manning is in the picture, but that's something that I think that they're, but in general, they still just really like this class. So I think that's the thing that people need to realize is that as the Steelers are looking to make a move, it's not a move that's going to be a blockbuster. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, Terry McLaurin. I'm like, first of all, Terry McLaurin ain't leaving the Commanders. That's going to get worked out. I think it could be more of like a Romeo Doubs type player, a guy on the back end of his rookie deal who's fallen down his depth chart a little bit, and his team is like, hey, we can move on from this guy for a very minimal trade swap. I think that's what Omar Khan's looking for right now, and if the Steelers make a move, it'll be something along those lines.
Yeah. Do you think that move does Gabe Davis qualify as that move? He visited in Buffalo last week after he visited with Pittsburgh, although it's been over a week since then, so I don't know.
Yeah, that was the second time they visited him, or he visited them, and it makes me wonder if his knee is okay, because that knee was what kind of got him out of Jacksonville, and now he's been there twice in Pittsburgh. Unless Omar Khan is kind of gauging to other situations, I thought they would have pulled the trigger when he last visited Pittsburgh. Of course, he could also be looking for the best situation for himself, right? Like if I get to reunite with Josh Allen, that'd be better than linking up with old man Aaron Rodgers. But I do think Gabe Davis is one of their options. I just don't know how healthy he is.
Yeah, the offense as a whole. So we talked about Rodgers a little bit. The fit with him and Arthur Smith, do you feel like that? How has it sounded, I guess, throughout training camp? Him being in an offense that, Smith in general, he's going to run two tight ends a lot, play action. Do you feel like Rodgers will adapt to that type of offense? It's a little different, I think, than maybe even a lot different than what he's run a lot in his career.
No, I agree. It's definitely different. I think he's willing to adapt because Arthur Smith is adapted to having Aaron Rodgers. Like in the last few years with where he's had Russell. Well, last year really was the first year he's in Pittsburgh. But last year he had Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, and they didn't use the middle part of the field, partially because they didn't trust their quarterbacks to read the middle part of the field, but they're using a lot of more middle of the field concepts that allow Aaron Rodgers to use, what's one of the best factors he's always had in his career, his cerebral ability to pick apart defenses and read what's going on. And I think that's what they're kind of relying on. Hey, Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to read some of these middle of the field routes and be a smarter quarterback than what the Steelers have had even before Arthur Smith with Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph. And that's where they're going to say, hey, we're tailoring this offense so that you can do a little bit more of those things. But still, yeah, they're still going to be using some double tight end sets. Don't be surprised if they come out in some triple tight end sets because they really like their number 3 tight end in Darnell Washington, who's been with the team for the past few years. So I do think that there's going to be some adjustment on his part. But rest assured, Arthur Smith's also adjusting to things that Aaron Rodgers wants. I watched from training camp from the early parts where Aaron Rodgers was kind of eyeing down some of the Steelers receivers and saying, like, hey, need you to be more specific in what we're doing here. But they've ironed out some details, and I really like some of the young guys they got behind DK Metcalf. Calvin Austin, a fourth-year player who's really fast, runs a 4.3 40-yard dash. And Roman Wilson, the guy who didn't get to play last year out of Michigan, he's another speedster who they've really liked. And I think that both of them, with their ability to kind of get loose against defenders, are going to be bonuses for Aaron Rodgers this year. So I do think that they got some things keyed up that'll fit his skill set.
Christopher Carter of the Locked On Steelers podcast, covering the Steelers with us, breaking down Pittsburgh. Christopher, thanks for the time, and we'll maybe chat down the line when the Bills and Steelers meet this year.
Thanks, fellas. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right. I always forget the Bills play the Steelers this year. I don't know why it just kind of sneaks by me.
Yeah, November 30th, Week 13, 4:25 in Pittsburgh.
Be a good game to go to, right?
Yeah, I've never been to that stadium for anything. It's drivable.
Mm-hmm.
November in Pittsburgh. That's not bad, right? Well, it's late November. It's last time they were in Pittsburgh.
Is it? It's not the Tyler Kroft game, is it?
Yes, that is why I was trying to picture
Sunday Night Football?
the Bills in that stadium, and because that game was at night, and it was a COVID year, right?
I don't know about that. No, my wife went.
COVID?
My wife went to that game where the Bills clinched the division by beating the Steelers. Tyler Kroft touchdown, kind of late. Is the score like 16-9 or something?
Okay.
What is the score of that game?
17-10.
Oh, I was close. Right, 17-10.
They don't win the division that year, though.
That's the wild card year. They clinch a playoff spot? What is it?
It must be a playoff spot.
Okay.
Because that's 2019.
Gotcha.
They're a wild card team at Houston, so that must have been for the playoffs. Maybe, do they also clinch a division the next year against? They beat the Steelers the next year at home.
Yeah, but that's...
in December.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the clinch of the division? Did they do that back-to-back years, clinch something against Pittsburgh? I don't know.
I just remember that game being something clickable. Or something clinchable, I should say.
Yeah.
Because that's why she went. It was like, they can clinch. If they win that game, they clinch.
It must have been for the playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
They've only played, they've played 4 times in a row in Buffalo, then Pittsburgh, and then Buffalo before that. So they've only, in the last 12 years, they've only played in Pittsburgh 1 time. So.
Yeah.
2013 they played in Pittsburgh. Remember that game at all?
Hold on.
In Pittsburgh, they lost.
Hold on. Yes, I do. I remember that game. That's a game because right before that game they lose 23-10. Ooh. Somebody got beat bad on a play action. Why do I remember that?
For a touchdown?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's see. Touchdowns in that game.
The thing I remember about that game is before that Stevie Johnson didn't play. Okay?
Yeah, I don't have him on here.
Okay, because this is a very random reference.
Yeah, the Bills' leader in catches that day was Chris Gregg.
Chris Gregg.
No, wait, there's Stevie. He 3 for 48.
He played?
Yeah, 3 for 48 on 10 targets.
Maybe he didn't play the next game. He was coming back from injury.
Chris Gregg.
He
caught a touchdown in that game. The Chris Gregg game, they call it.
The Pittsburgh game, maybe, I guess Stevie did. I guess it's a different game. I just remember there was a game, because 2013 is Marone, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Marone and EJ.
Marone.
Yep.
They scored 10 points.
They scored 10 points.
Yeah, young Parcells. The thing I remember about, I thought it was that Pittsburgh game. Maybe it was right before, right after. Maybe right after they lose. See if Stevie played the next week.
Let's see.
There's a game where Stevie Johnson misses, and I ask Marone a question, something along the lines of, what's harder to replace? The player on the field who's the top receiver, or the guy that knows the offense the best, right? Like the idea that you have to go to a second string player.
Yeah.
Is it the physical tools you miss or the understanding of the offense? And he got so mad that I was suggesting, I don't even know.
Suggesting what? This seems like the most.
He flipped out. He flipped out on the air.
does not even sound like a. It sounds like a.
I was just trying to ask
question.
Just absolutely flipped out on me.
He missed the next week against the Jets.
Okay, so it was after that game.
So he maybe got hurt in the Pittsburgh game.
Okay,
yeah,
flipped out.
Yeah, he only played 60% of the snaps.
What kind of question is that? Are you guys with us or against us? Like one of those ones where he's asking if we're. Aren't you guys get on the team?
Right.
That was Marone's second season, right? He's 2012.
Yeah.
Because in 2012. He was a delight on the air. And in 2013, he changed. He was just a different person. He was mad all the time. Mm-hmm. He was so miserable all the time. And that was part of it.
That was his first year with the Bills, but it was late. So maybe he morphed in the middle of the season.
Maybe
that's the moment when it all turned.
Maybe. Who knows?
Hey, they won that game against the Jets the next week, even without him. 37. They scored 37. I don't remember any of this.
No.
Manuel, 245 and 2 touchdowns.
Nothing.
These stats don't look like they should have scored 37 points in this game. How did they score? This is how they scored 37 points this game. You had a Denoris Searcy pick 6. Turnovers by the Jets. There you go. That's the answer.
Speaking of, who'd you just mention?
Not the 2013 Bills.
Pittsburgh. Oh, speaking of road trips.
Pittsburgh.
College road trips.
Yeah, so we were talking with Howard in here. Because
Howard popped in a minute ago. He didn't come on the air.
I told him I'd never been to a major college game.
Yep.
So
you went to Syracuse last year, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you were talking about going to Syracuse
last year. No,
it
didn't happen.
And I told you.
I was going to go see them play Miami.
Gotcha.
But it didn't happen.
Do we have our first look at the rivalries uniforms? I think we might.
For the Bills?
Maybe. I think we might.
We got a leak?
I think we do.
Okay. This is exciting.
This
is kind of the drop. Oh, are you looking at this graphic that I'm also looking at that has all of them?
Yes.
It looks computer generated to me. Just want to throw that out there. Doesn't mean it's wrong.
That's right. It has the Dolphins one. It would have, if this were correct,
sportslogos.net is usually on this stuff, and this guy's from sportslogos.net.
If this is the case, 4 of the 8 are just black jerseys. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, San Francisco, Miami, the Jets.
The Jets would just be a congratulations. Where Seattle might look cool here. And the Patriots doesn't look anything different than what they wear. If this is the Bills one, I think this is a good sign. It's white. It almost looks like a UB white road jersey.
It does kind of look like UB.
It looks like UB, but it looks like if this is it. No, you know what? I think that is a UB jersey. That's a UB. It says Buffalo on the. Whatever.
Yeah, it does.
It looks a lot like a UB jersey. If this is it, I don't think this is that bad.
No, I like this.
If this is it, it's a gradient number, white uniform, blue outline. The helmet would be white.
Looks like there's a little bit of texture in the middle of the helmet, like where the stripe would normally be.
Which I have heard. I had someone write in that the helmet stripe might be like ice.
It looks
cracking.
like ice. It looks like ice cracking to me.
If these are them, hold on. I must prepare for what you have to say when you see New Jersey. These are clean. Wow, so clean.
Well, especially when they're white.
For sure.
They have to be white.
Yeah. G wants to post it on the stream. All right, where do we see that? Who tweeted out this, this rumored leak? It includes all 8.
It's at the Twitter account for it?
Yeah.
Andrew Lind, who is a writer at sportslogos.net.
Okay.
And they are normally pretty good on this stuff.
So if you're on the stream, we're going to put it up on the stream. You'll be able to see what we're looking at here on the YouTube stream. And G, can you zoom in on the Bills one? Is that possible to do that? I'm not sure if we can clip that. This is from Andrew Lind. And if this is them, I would say already ranked. Cardinals, Bills, Seahawks have done well.
The Cardinals one is awesome.
It looks very good.
The Cardinals has like a sand texture.
You can't see the whole
to
thing.
The uniform. I like the logo on the helmet. It's just red.
Yeah. If this is it, there's the Bills one. Okay, that looks like UB.
It does look a little like UB.
I am here to defend gradient graphics to my death. I think gradient is fine. You've got graphic design people that can't stand a gradient. I think it's fine. If this is what the Bills uniform is, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to see more details.
It's cool without
it's cool.
I think it's cool without being what I originally hoped for this series when it was first announced, which is just the wildest NFL uniforms you've ever seen.
Yeah, I was hoping for some crazy wild stuff.
And they haven't done that at all.
I don't know that the Bills
not at all, but they're not They're not what you see from other leagues where you see City Connect in baseball or City Connect in the NBA, where they will go off the wall. These are nice. They are different. I wouldn't describe them as off the wall.
No. G, can you zoom in on Seattle? Because Seattle, we can't see everything that's going on here.
Seattle looks like one side of the helmet is a different color than the other side of the helmet.
Yeah. If we zoom in on Seattle, it looks like, again, their teaser video was about sound and waves and the idea that, like... Right. So, yeah, scroll up. Like this. Oh, I just went to a commercial on YouTube. Sorry about that. At least for my feed, it did. The Seattle one looks potentially the coolest.
He zoomed in on it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm in a commercial. Let me skip this. That one, to me, looks potentially the best. The black ones are just worthless.
Yeah.
I mean, the Niners are going to wear black. The Rams are going to wear black. Worthless. Congratulations. You made 4 more black. Every team just added a black jersey. And now 4 more teams are adding a black one. Congratulations. Have a good time.
I'm very happy the Bills didn't do
You might
that.
say what did the Bills do? They added a white one. Sure, that might be right. But if this is it, I think I like the first look, and I think I'm back to being encouraged. I'm back to thinking, it does look like a UB Bulls jersey. Ready for this?
It looks more like a stormtrooper than they're stormtroopers.
Maybe. Do you like this idea? Because I told you who I want to get my next jersey, right?
Deion Dawkins.
Yeah.
You want to get this in Deion Dawkins?
I mean...
He is the Snowman.
That's the idea. Ready?
You're going to get the name on the back that says Snowman?
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Right?
Kind of like that.
Custom make 77 Snowman.
Yeah.
I'm now 46. This is the age you start to really appreciate offensive linemen. I'm supposed to start to really value the line now.
You are, yeah.
I think this is like a perfect storm scenario of like you get a white jersey that's supposed to be like about snow.
77 Snowman.
Yeah.
And there are going to be thousands of those.
I'd like to go further, and I think we should all protest the NFL or that they allow Deion Dawkins
to be Snowman
to say Snowman on the back of his jersey when they wear these, and also not have the number 73, but just have a snowflake as in place of the number on both sides.
It looks like an asterisk. A snowflake.
I guess it does.
No, you could add the little tines on the end of it.
Yeah. There's the little details where like the little branches off of the stems that make it look more like a snowflake than an asterisk. Do that.
Well, I am encouraged by this. I think the Jets look like death. The Rams might have some redeeming qualities. The Niners, get out.
The Rams at least have like the really bright yellow that's going. And I don't know if that blue is on their jersey or if that's like the light from the graphic. There's a blue on the Rams shoulder. I think that's on the uniform. I can't tell.
I don't know.
I hope it is.
It looks like lighting. The top 3 to me.
The Niners look like a uniform that they've made 10 years ago.
Right. Just no value.
Yeah. Arizona's is nice. I love Arizona. Arizona's going to be number 1 for me. I think
Arizona, Buffalo, Seattle are going to be the top 3.
And New England, just, I don't know.
We'll see. You can't see enough of it. Maybe there are elements of it that are cool. Well, we find out officially at 10 o'clock.
If these are real. It still does look computer generated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These aren't real. Like, that's not a real picture of Keon Coleman.
No, that's right. But again, this is Andrew Lind, as you pointed out, from sportslogos.net.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to make that up.
No. And
these are going to be them.
That site is always on top of this, on uniform stuff and logo stuff all the time, too. So. All right. I'm going with it. That's what it is.
I can't believe 4 of them are black. I can't believe it. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could make the same criticism if 4 of them were just white. And the Bills have a white one. But the idea of white here is that it's connected to the region, snow, winter's coming. Like, that makes sense. What about San Francisco's like, black uniforms?
I don't know. Like, throw some colors around.
Listen, I am very relieved because
colors, please.
There are 8 uniforms that come out. And if one of them is the Bills and I like it, and there are other ones that I hate, that's like hitting for the cycle for me. I scratched every itch. I got a new uniform I like. I got some I get to hate on.
Yeah.
Perfect. When are the Kraken coming out with their 3rd jersey that's going to glow in the ice with like that, bioluminescent color?
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be soon. All right, we'll get a break in. 803-0550. We have to run waivers on our former Bill, future Bill draft.
We do. And before the break, if you're caller 5 right now, 221-4WGR, you win a pair of tickets to Deftones with special guests Phanogram and the Barbarians of California at KeyBank Center on September 1st, courtesy of Live Nation. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Sal Capaccio and Matt Beauvais are taking It's Always Game Day in Buffalo on the road. The BFLO store. Join them on Wednesday, September 3rd, 6:30 p.m. at BFLO Store's Transitown Plaza, Williamsville location. You can be part of the live audience, hear their takes on the season that'll be coming up a couple days after that. Gear up for game day when you shop their massive selection of Buffalo Bills gear, including BFLO's own tailgate collection. You can get all the details on our website, WGR550.com. And we'll see you on September 3rd at the BFLO store, official retailer of the Buffalo Bills.
Waiting for the Buffalo Bills rivalries uniforms to drop. We had someone from sportslogo.net send out a picture of all of them. And I've had one or two people write back, that's not them. Now, through this process, I've had a little bit of, I've seen them, I was part of the photo shoot, blah, blah, blah. I've seen them, that's not them.
That's what
That's what a person, at least one in our chat has said, that's not them.
Okay.
The idea that this is not them, like, it's a lot of work to go through for a reputable website that is based in uniforms and logos and jerseys to make a fake graphic out of nowhere.
I know.
It's a long way to go. It features the Dolphins one that's reportedly leaked. And, past that, I don't know. We'll see. 1-888-550-2550.
I guess they could be better.
Sure.
If there was a little more to them, maybe, like something on the shoulders.
There might be stuff we kind of can't really even see yet.
Or
Listen,
that,
when the Sabres dropped those Turdberger jerseys, the fronts and the backs were different.
Right.
Don't forget that. The fronts were yellow and the backs were blue.
Well, the fronts were two different kinds of yellow also.
And then the backs were blue.
What a disaster. That's never going to be worn again,
right? The Sabres do have a bunch of theme nights coming up.
But that's not one of them. And I don't think ever will be. I would bet
Rally towel
100 times more likely that we'll see the slug again
for
more
Steve
than
Ott
we'll
night,
see that jersey.
Steve Ott night.
They honor Steve Ott.
How about this? This is kind of cool. Of all the Sabres have a bunch of theme nights. So home opener, mascot madness, Bills night, hockey fights cancer night, Native American Heritage night, Thanksgiving celebration, home for the holidays, Pride night, mental health awareness night, kids takeover. Is the kids takeover on one of the 3 afternoon games? Not that many afternoon games. Still mad.
I would bet.
Still really mad about that. Black History celebration, Olympic send-off. That's a new one.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Rasmus Dahlin commemorative pin giveaway. That's a cool idea. Before the Olympics, a send-off. Youth Hockey Day, Girls and Women in Sports Night, Military Appreciation Night, Dingus Day celebration, and Fan Appreciation Night. And the best gift is probably the butter dish, Thanksgiving butter dish.
Yep.
Not a gravy bowl, but a butter dish.
Yeah. Usually that's the popular one, whatever is coming on that night. There's a bobblehead night, right, too? Is that at the very end? There's a bobblehead giveaway for one of those. I don't remember which one. Yeah, Olympic send-off will be cool. I mean, there'll only be a few, but Dahlin will get sent off. Actually, there'll be a few. Dahlin, Thompson.
Did you see the USA Hockey?
Kulik is going to be on Czechia, I would imagine.
You see the USA Hockey tweet from yesterday? With Tage in it?
No, I didn't. He was featured, though?
Yes, here it is. So USA Hockey tweeted, coming this winter. And it's 4 players. And you're going to have to help me get who they all are. I know a couple of them here.
Is it from the official USA Hockey account?
Yeah, USA Hockey. It's Tage. And then is that Jack Hughes second?
Find the image.
And I don't know who third is.
Let's see.
The goalie?
Tage Thompson. That is Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes
is the second one.
Who's the goalie?
That is Jake Ottinger.
And then who's the fourth?
Jack Eichel. You knew fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, I knew who fourth was. Then I switched to playing the game of who's fourth.
Jack Eichel.
Are American Sabres fans ready to root for him? For the country?
What if him and Thompson are on the same line?
That's what I'm saying. His contract's up soon.
Yeah, you got to root for him when he's in the Olympics, like the gold medal game. Yeah, of course you do. Definitely.
Okay. 803-0550.
Are you gonna be mad if he wins gold for the U.S.? You can't. Can't possibly. There was a hockey site that picked the Sabres to make the playoffs yesterday.
Is that right?
Yeah. JFresh Hockey. It's one of those analytics accounts on Twitter. 93 points. I will do cartwheels if they get 93 points this season. But at least someone's predicting it.
He did it 3 times, by the way. He ran 3 different simulations, and all 3 times they got in.
3, I don't know how about 3. Sometimes when like PFF runs simulations, they'll be like, we ran this 75,000 times. This guy ran it 3 times.
He's usually pretty good, though. Like,
yeah, they're usually good.
He's usually pretty on point.
3 times. My wife has sent a picture. We have a giant. We have a giant spider at the house outside. I have a pair of shoes, like old running shoes that I wore, and then we were out for a hike, and I didn't have water shoes, so I just wore these old running shoes in the creek that we were going through, a creek walk.
Okay.
Got home, took them off, left them outside. And in the last 2 days, a spider has moved in. Okay. And I mean a spider.
Big guy.
She told me how big it was yesterday. I didn't get a chance to look at it. And now she has attempted to send me a picture.
How does she describe how big it was?
Big. Huge.
Okay.
There's a huge spider in your shoe. She said she just watched it catch a fly. All right, this spider is for viewing.
Did it eat the fly in your shoe? Must have, right?
It's going to if it didn't already.
Yeah.
So my first thought was like, all right, well, are we gonna... Snatched it right out of the air, she said. Okay. So this is a spider that doesn't even need a web. He's evolved. He's next level.
What is he, a frog? Like, sticking his tongue out? How does he grab me with his arm?
I have no idea. Is there a frog spider?
He's Odell Beckham catching a fly out of the air with one hand.
So my first thought was, all right, I got to find out if it's poisonous, because if it could bite somebody and you got to kill it.
I don't think we have poisonous spiders.
We do have poisonous spiders in New York State, yeah.
Okay.
Somebody that's a spider expert, call us real quick. Give us some facts. I've got questions I want to ask.
It's just spider experts that are just listening to the show?
Arachnophologists?
Sure. It didn't sound very confident.
I mean, arachnophobia is the fear of it. It's got to be like, an arachnologist.
Yeah. You think one is listening?
There's got to be someone that knows a lot about spiders listening, yes. Or someone that knows about
arachnologist.
All you got to be is a woodsman, somebody that hikes.
Okay.
Somebody that is outdoors to know the spiders we have in this area. So I sent her a couple pictures, and I think the type of spider we're looking at that has now moved into one of my shoes and is going to keep my shoe because I'm not taking it back from this spider, is a dark fishing spider.
Okay.
Those are said to be in this area. Dolomedes tenebrosus. I know you were waiting for the official
name. I was waiting for the scientific
terminology.
Terminology.
I found one here in a picture in Cuyahoga County in Ohio, living in a bucket. They are huge.
Yeah.
So
what's your move? You're going to burn the shoes? You're going to kill the spider and save the shoes?
I think, isn't it, spiders are our friends. They catch other bugs.
Yes.
So I think I might move the shoe.
But what if he wants to keep moving back into the shoe?
Well, I'll move the shoe into the yard. He can have it. Have the shoe.
You're going to create... You're going to make the shoe into a home for this spider?
The spider already made it a home. I'm just moving the home.
You could kick him out.
The home is on the porch. I don't want to have a run-in with this spider.
Why don't you build like a little wooden fort for him in the yard and then move him into there? Kick him out of the shoe and then get him into there.
He made the shoe a house. You got to make it a home. You got to give him some stuff. Give him a little yard,
a little welcome mat.
Give him a pool. Yeah, treat him nice. If he catches all the bugs, why not? Spiders freak me out. I would throw the shoe across the yard personally, but
have you seen?
I'm a huge.
Did you Google the size?
I won't because if I do, I'll think it's crawling.
I Googled. You can't even look at this dark fishing spider.
Anytime I see a spider on on a screen or even in real life, I feel like it's crawling on me. I hate spiders.
I Googled it and I can't imagine the one that's in your yard is the size of the one that I'm looking at. Although this was from Ohio. And it's.
All right, I think
it looks like it's a foot long. I think the one in your shoe is not a foot long.
I think spider experts are calling in.
That's your guess?
I think so.
The people on hold right now are calling in about this. Described as a tree-dwelling spider. Which is not where it is right now.
That's currently in a shoe.
Yeah, it's in a shoe. So I don't know. You just kill a spider.
JJ in Marilla, our senior spider expert. JJ, what's up?
I got to admit, that's the first time I've ever been called that.
All right.
Anyway, not an expert, but I'll tell you this. The only spider that has any kind of danger in this area is the brown recluse.
Yeah.
That's the bad guy. I was working out of town, 5-10 years ago, and I know a guy that got bit by one, and he didn't take the medication after getting, bit regularly, and he died. And those are in Western New York. But anyways.
All right, there you go, Josh. Sleep well.
Yeah, thanks for that.
All right. Thanks, JJ. Additional senior spider analyst, Rick, on a cell. Hey, Rick.
Hey, guys, I missed that guy before me. What did he say? What kind of spider?
It was a brown recluse that he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was. So I work on basements, crawl spaces. Our employees are in and out of them, fixing them. And one of our guys got bit by one and was in the hospital for 40 days. Like, literally bad.
Yeah. Wow. Is there a chance this one in my shoe is a brown recluse?
No, I don't think so. If you already, they're pretty easily identifiable by, like, I'm assuming you did some Google or something.
Yeah. I sent my wife a picture. She seems to think it's the dark fishing spider.
Yeah, so brown recluse, they typically like damp, cold, dark places, like a crawl space.
Oh, this is a wet. This is a wet shoe.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm sure the sun hits it.
True. All right, thanks, Rick.
I'm looking up pictures of the brown recluse.
I don't think it's a recluse.
I know what it looks like.
I don't think it's a brown recluse.
Feels like a spider I've come across at some time in my life and just didn't know that it was poisonous in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, look at that guy. Don't you like it when they're so big you can see their eyes? You think like
no, I don't like that actually.
No,
that's the opposite.
I like everything else but that.
There's
everything else in the world.
There's one in the area that's like a jumping spider. You ever seen that one? Yeah, the jumping spider is a small little cute guy, and I've seen those. You ever seen one of those?
A small little cute guy. You're talking about a spider.
A jumping spider.
I know the ones he's talking about. Amongst spiders, they are the cutest of the spiders.
Yeah, look at that guy.
No doubt.
Look at that guy.
It's just because of the eyes, though, right?
Yeah, you can look at him.
They've got the big, googly eyes.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that bad, but it's still.
Mike in Buffalo, quick. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, I don't know. My social media algorithm has been feeding me a lot of spider feeds over the past few months, and they're all of people befriending spiders and training them. And I think it's
training them.
The wolf spider.
Yeah.
And they'll set up like a ruler from one ledge to another ledge, and they'll get the spider to walk over it, and then they'll give it a little fist pound. It could also be AI.
Yeah, I
haven't been able to tell, but I've been really getting fed this on my algorithm lately, and it makes me want to do it.
Train a spider.
So, Jeremy, I think this is a terrific opportunity for you
to befriend a spider
and train it.
Yeah, hey. Right, make lemonade out of lemons. Oh, the big spider in your yard? Make that thing your next guard dog. Beware of spider. Actually, if you put a sign on your fence that said beware of spider, no one would go in the yard.
Yeah, you don't even, you know what? Those signs that you have, like, that says, like, alarm system, like, get rid of that, put beware of spider in its place, and no one will ever come near your house.
Beware of large spider.
Yeah.
Not going back there.
Hey, Halloween's coming up. Be a good Halloween decoration. Beware. I've had... This is a fake spider, but I've had a spider web that comes off our house, goes down to the yard, and then it's like a spider crawling up the house. But you would know that's fake.
All right.
Clearly.
I don't know what I'm going to do about this.
We don't have the bird-eating spider here, though, right?
No, not the Goliath bird eater. Okay. No.
I did read that it's rare that they actually eat birds.
Oh.
Like it's not their normal meal of choice. Like, they will do it, which is why they've earned the nickname, but they're eating other stuff.
They prefer a nice Cobb salad?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. While watching a movie.
Yes. All right. Extendo Sports, and 13 minutes away from the Bills' reveal of their rivalries uniform. We'll find out what it looks like. We think we have a leak, but we got to see if it's real. So, stay tuned.
Be caller 5 right now at 716-221-4WGR to win a pair of tickets to the National Buffalo Wing Fest, which is coming up Saturday and Sunday. Plus 2 Wing Fest t-shirts, courtesy of Buffalo Wing Fest. For event hours and tickets, visit buffalowing.com.
One quick spider follow-up story. So I want to go home and if I go to look at that shoe on the porch and the spider is not there, then what? Move?
That's his house now.
It could be anywhere. If he's not in the shoe, he's right behind me, isn't he?
You got to set up like a camera to watch and see when he comes back.
That is a great idea.
Like, you know how they have cameras for like bird feeders?
I've got one of those cameras for bird feeders. I'm going to put that right by the shoe. That is exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you that spider in action. He's going to come out of that shoe.
We need more sports teams named after spiders. We don't have any.
Cleveland had a chance to do it, didn't they?
The Cleveland Spiders?
When they went to the Guardians, they could have gone Spiders. They had an old team.
The Richmond Spiders.
Yeah.
Right? College team.
That's right. They've never done anything of note. Sal will get that joke. It's fine. They beat Syracuse as a 15 seed when Syracuse was a 2 back in 1990, but, no one's keeping track of that anymore. It's fine. I'm reading that tea tree oil will get spiders away.
Tea tree oil?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to get a break in. 5 minutes from the Rivalry uniforms official. Good looks at them. We'll stay for 5 minutes. Give a quick thought. I think they're going to be good. I think they're fine. Based on the leak we have, I think I'm good with them. At least they're not the worst of the 8. They're probably like top 3. So we'll get the full rundown when we get back.